History was made on Tuesday as Grant Jay submitted his name in the record books. 3 home runs on the night, and with one swing, he became the Patriots' all-time home run king. Now the stakes are raised as two of the top teams in Conference USA collide. It's number 17 DBU and Western Kentucky next on ESPN+. Warner Ballpark in Dallas, where the Patriots and Hilltoppers open up a 3-game series as the race for a Conference USA crown heats up between two of the league's top teams. And hello, everybody. Alongside Brendan Smith, I'm Reagan Ratcliffe. Patriots are coming off a 14-4 win over UTA on Tuesday. They return to conference play tonight. You get Western Kentucky. Two of the top teams right now tie for the lead in the league standings. If you're a fan of offense, you're going to see that tonight.
Yeah, not just the two top teams in terms of standings in the conference, but the two best offenses in Conference USA and two of the best in the country. You saw what the Patriots were able to do. 5 home runs on Tuesday. Grant Jay responsible for 3 of those, but the Patriots now 10th in the nation in home runs. They're 13th in the nation in scoring at almost 9.5 runs per game, but they're playing a Western Kentucky team that has completely remade themselves. They are 3rd in the nation in doubles. They've got 77 this season. 8th in the country with a 328 average. They've added some pop, and they have 3 transfers at the top of that order that make this an extremely dynamic offense. And you cap that off with a pitching staff that has also been very strong. They're battle-tested this week, taking on Vanderbilt on Tuesday. It's going to be an outstanding series here this weekend.
Now, Western Kentucky comes in this weekend 25-4 on the season. For more on the Hilltoppers turnaround under third-year head coach Mark Raridan, we say hello to Alexis De La Garza.
Hey guys, I got to visit with Coach Raridan, who has been rebuilding this program since he got there. And something that he really capitalized on is their new culture that he's built upon year after year. Even referring to Coach Schiefner and the culture he has built here, saying it's not just one thing that you do, but everything. And it's not only the hours you spend on the field, it's even all the hours that you spend off. And along with this new culture comes a mentality that his team doesn't quit and they don't count themselves out, saying they have a fight in them, and people are starting to see that. But most importantly, so are their players.
Well, it's the Patriots and Hilltoppers, 2 teams that figure to be in the mix for a Conference USA title. We've got first pitch between DBU and Western Kentucky when we return to Dallas. DBU and Western Kentucky, Game 1. It is unseasonably cool here in early April. 62 degrees in Dallas. You had a cold front that rolled through. In fact, we weren't sure we were going to have baseball tonight with the weather and the rain, but we've got a good window for baseball tonight. Take a look at the Hilltoppers lineup. Boy, there are some dangerous hitters here. Carlos Vasquez, the table setter, who hits 368th, and Thomas Marsala. Ryan Weidman is one of the elite hitters in the country. You see his numbers there on the screen. 455 average, one of the top draft prospects in college baseball. Lizama's in the cleanup spot, then it's Camden Ross, Joe Siervo, then Kyle Hayes at first, Reed Howard. Henry Brown, a late addition to the lineup tonight, will be at third base. And take a look at Patriots' Friday night ace back on the mound once again. He's been in that role since opening day. It's Micah Bucknam.
Yeah, Mike has had an outstanding year, his first as a Patriot. See the numbers, a perfect 4-0 on the season. He's won his last 3 starts, a 3.79 ERA, 53 punch-outs in just over 40 innings. 234 batting average against, but 20th in the nation in strikeouts, and he features that fastball that can get up into the mid-90s, the slider, curveball, as well as a changeup, and every week he has put the Patriots in position to win Game 1 of a series. He's going to try and do the same here against this Western Kentucky offense.
Now, what a test tonight. Western Kentucky, 8th highest batting average in the country. They're amongst the leaders in the country in a number of categories. 3rd in the nation in doubles with 77. They've stolen 73 bases. But something Mark Raridan's done a little bit different this year. They played a lot of small ball last year. In fact, they led the country in sacrifice bunts. He's really transformed this roster, this lineup. This is a much different looking team. They're physical, and you'll see it tonight in this batting order.
Yeah, you're going to see it especially there in those top 3, as we had talked about the 3 transfers. But here's the defense that they're going to be trying to put up some runs against. A bit of a different look. Along with Humphreys in center, Landon Underhill right, DeTop Hefner on the left side of the nine, Rayback and Kraus on the right. Grant Jay and Mike Bucknam, your batter. And also great to see Tom Poole back in the lineup as your DH today.
So here's Vasquez, a junior who was born in Sao Paulo, Brazil. 6'1", 207-pounder, who's coming off a year in which he It's a medical red shirt. He shows bunt, first pitch outside for ball 1 from Bucknam. It's been all but 2 games in the leadoff spot for Vasquez, who has the 6th most hits in the league with 39 as he stands in. Pitch high and tight. He's up 2-0. Cool and cloudy tonight. 62 degrees. You've got the wind out of the north at 10 miles per hour, so that's straight in from center field. Bucknam behind at 2-0. Can't find the zone. He's quickly down 3-0. He's only walked 14 and 40 in the third. He's quickly behind to Vasquez, and Vasquez is a guy that can put pressure on you on the bases. He's stolen 7 out of 8. .30 pitch there for a strike.
Yeah, Micah doesn't walk a ton, and then this is a Western Kentucky team that they're living to put that ball in play. They've got 132 walks this season, but their team leader just with 16, so that's not a huge part of their game.
The 3-1. High in the air and foul. Underhill gives it a look, so now it'll go to 3-2. Bucknam's coming off a start against New Mexico State last week. It's always tough to pitch in Las Cruces. Offensive park, the thin air, fast turf, 5 innings, 5 runs. Only 2 of those earned. But he has been superb in this Friday night role. The transfer from LSU's gone 3-2. Now to Vasquez. Big pitch here to the leadoff hitter. It's foul back.
Up to 96 there on the Express, so he's bringing it in this first inning to this first batter in Vasquez.
Transfer from Wallace-Dothan Community College in Alabama. Bucknam again at 3-2. Struck him out, top of the zone. Off speed at 88 from Bucknam, and there's 1 down.
Oh, and obviously Vasquez did not agree with that call. He thought it was high, and he might have a point here. I mean, that is borderline at the top of the zone. Great job to battle back from Micah Bucknam after falling behind 3-0. And with this Western Kentucky offense, you never want to give them a head start in an inning with a free pass.
They don't give you much room to breathe. Here's Marsala, who's hitting at 370. It's the 2nd highest average on the team. At the knees for a strike. This is another one of these junior college transfers that Mark Reardon has struck gold with. Out of Hines Community College in Mississippi. Originally out of Louisiana. He was raised in Monroe. He started his college career at Baton Rouge Community College, 23. They put 3 on the right side of the infield here versus Marsala, whose average is in the top 10 in the league at 370. That's 8th highest in Conference USA. Chopper to Kraus at first. Easy play for Chayton, and there's 2 out.
Yeah, and really no small task to get the first 2. As you see, the very short history between these 2 teams. Did not play until they became conference foes back in 2023. Western Kentucky took that series last year in Kentucky. Winning the first 2 games, Patriots had to salvage that thing on Sunday.
It really feels like a different team, and one of the big reasons is this man right here, Ryan Weidman. Ground ball up the middle, sliding play made by Graybeck, but he is not going to be able to gun down Weidman. Had in his glove for just a split second. Weidman's got great speed, able to get there. Hey, you got a man on, 2 outs for Ethan Lizama.
Yeah, and you mentioned the stolen bases and the speed of Ryan Weidman. Well, he's got 25 already this year, and if Graybeck was going to have a play, he was going to have to field it cleanly, but even then, I don't think he would have had a chance at first base. So, look for the Hilltoppers to put guys in motion, especially Weidman over there at first base with 2 outs. He's got a massive lead.
Bucknam keeps an eye on. This has been a problem for DBU pitchers. Keeping runners at bay. Against Micah, they're a perfect 8 of 8. Basters have almost been successful 82% of the time this year against Patriot pitching. There's a throw over. He's back easily.
That's a huge frame, too, from Weidman at 6'5". So it may only take him, it feels like, maybe 4 or 5 strides to get to second base. And he is not shy about his lead at first.
Lizama fouls it off. He gets behind. 0-1. A senior who was born in Guam. Started his college career at Gulf Coast State College. Originally started his high school career at Eastlake High School in Chula Vista, California. 0-1 in on the hands. Close. A ball and a strike. It's another one here in Lizama that's in the top 10 in Conference USA in hitting. Comes tonight batting at .364.
It'll be hard to find a better top 4 than what you see here from the Hilltoppers.
The biggest question tonight, when you look at the numbers of Western Kentucky, is how battle-tested is this team? Yes, the numbers are eye-popping. They were tested on Tuesday against Vanderbilt, and they took them to extra innings. They've had this series circled on their calendar. There's a throw over. They got him. Weidman was way off the bag. And Bucknam helps his own cause and picks off Weidman for the third out. So no runs, a hit, no errors, and nobody left. Bucknam gets Weidman. Here it is one more time on the tag from Kraus. Huge lead, and it wasn't close. Scoreless as we go to the bottom of the first in Dallas. Head to the bottom of first, game 1 between DBU and Western Kentucky. Two teams are tied at the top of the Conference USA standings. Here's Dan Heather's lineup tonight for the Patriots. Michael Vitalo has found himself a home in the leadoff spot. He's back over at third base tonight in the hot corner. Tom Poole, also the welcome addition back to the lineup. You see Tom there, the DH. Grant Jay became the all-time home run leader in DBU baseball history on Tuesday. Jay in the third spot. Humphreys in cleanup role. Then it's Kraus. Landon Underhill gets the start tonight. Joey Narrett is out with a nagging injury. Keaton Grady moves to left. Then it's Hefner and Graybeck to wind up this Patriot order. A team that's hitting .311 as a club. They're going to see one of the best arms right now in college baseball, and right-hander Jack Bennett.
Yeah, all the talk about this Western Kentucky offense, but they've got a guy at the top of their rotation that has been just about untouchable this year. A perfect 5-0 and a sparkling .86 ERA. That's only 3 earned runs allowed all season long in 31 1/3. 32 strikeouts for Jack Bennett. Only the 6 walks. You see the mix. It's a true 5-pitch mix, and he'll throw any of them. He's got the fastball, the sinker, the cutter, the slider, the changeup. But that ERA, second in the nation as the Paducah, Kentucky native, 6'2", 210 pounds, in his junior season is going after this Patriot offense.
And take a look at this pickoff again. You see Ryan Weidman there in center field, but boy, Bucknam helps his cause and guns down Weidman. That is a monster lead by Weidman at first base, and Bucknam with a nice job on the pickoff.
And you could even see that as he made the move to go to first, Weidman was taking his extra step. He might have been ready to go on that pitch. So the Patriots picked a good time to throw over to first base and erase a very dangerous hitter, or rather a very dangerous runner with a dangerous hitter at the plate.
Here's Bennett against Ditalo. Mentioned Bennett at .86 on the ERA. He is chasing a guy by the name of Phil Ryan, who owns the all-time single-season record at Western Kentucky at .85. So he is just 100th of a point back from Ryan, who pitched back in 1981 at Western Kentucky. 0-1 to Ditalo. Takes downstairs for a ball. It is, you saw the 5-pitch mix, and it's pretty balanced. You can see anything in any count tonight from Bennett.
And you're
see Ditalo there. He's closing in on 200 career hits, the transfer from Northwestern State, who arrived last year. Takes on the corner. And now it's gone to 1-2.
And it's 5 pitches that you feel like they all kind of look the same. You're not going to see the radar gun light up. It's going to be in the low 90s, but such a good mix. Great control. You've already seen him be able to locate a breaking ball right on the outside corner.
He strikes out Ditalo. There's the first out. 1 up, 1 down. Bennett gets the punch out.
Well, here's the defense behind Jack Bennett here this evening. It's Joe Ciervo in left field. Ryan Weidman, who we've been talking about in center. Ethan Lizama is in right. Carlos Vasquez was the third baseman. He moves over to second. It's him and Reed Howard up the middle. Have Henry Brown. At first base, Kyle Hayes. Bennett is your battery.
Tom Poole back in the lineup tonight, takes strike 1. Pole's been nursing a little bit of a nagging hamstring injury, something that's bothered him. So he's quickly down 0-2. Something that's bothered him since the Tucson Regional. He came out Friday at New Mexico State with that injury in the 7th inning, had to be pinch run for. So he's missed the last 3 games, back tonight. He's down 0-2 to Bennett. Strike 3, punched him out on 3 pitches. Boy, Bennett, what a start for the junior right-hander out of Paducah, Kentucky.
Yeah, this is a lot of what he's done this year, as he has just not let the Patriots get going, really, in the 2 starts that he's had all season, or in his career against DBU. But here's Grant Jay and what he did last night, or rather on Tuesday night, the 3 home runs to become DBU's all-time home run leader. 2 of those left in a hurry.
I think his furthest on Tuesday was 480. Here he goes to right field.
That's trouble.
Lizama circles in. He started back. He's got a long way to run here, and it blows foul. Just be a long strike. So Jay will head back to get his bat in an 0-1 count against Bennett. Bennett is a guy last year that almost went the distance through it. It went 8 2/3 against the Patriots, gave up 1 run and struck out 11. So he's given DBU fits. You're hoping for the Patriots that they don't get that kind of version of Bennett tonight, as he was absolutely brilliant. He's coming off 5 2/3 scoreless innings against Sam Houston last Friday. The only game that he's really struggled this year, Kennesaw State, March 21st, gave up 4 earned runs in 3 2/3 innings.
And the only game this season that he's allowed an earned run. That is special stuff this late into the season.
His 0-1 to Jay, down and away. Oh, last year the numbers 6-4, a 5.66 ERA for Bennett. Patriot fans wouldn't believe it. Put up those kind of numbers at the end of the year after what they saw from him last year. As here, Jay takes a strike. And as Mark Reardon says, he's not going to wow you with light up the radar gun. Just a guy that's athletic. He competes on the mound.
Just the location there of his breaking balls has been so difficult. He has put it right on the corner.
1-2 is outside.
And because he has such pinpoint control, if he goes off the plate a little bit, you're going to assume it's a strike, so maybe the hitter expands the strike zone a little bit. What a year he's having.
2-2 is buried, so Jay has taken it full now. Trying to hand it to Nate Humphreys in that on-deck circle. Bennett, who started his college career as a reliever his freshman year, back in 23. Here comes the 3-2, and that's just downstairs. Low to Jay, who walks for the 24th time this year. Patsa got a 2-out walk, and it brings Nate Humphreys up to the plate.
Yeah, just the 7th of the year for Jack Bennett. It was close, but Grant has shown an outstanding eye this season. So just like what Western Kentucky did, they got a runner with 2 outs, weren't able to do anything with it. We'll see if DBU can.
So here is Humphreys, who's kind of done it all for DBU this year. 358 batting average, 3rd on the team in that department, 8 home runs, 32 RBIs. Bennett's first pitch, and they're on the corner. Well, he became a part of some elite company. In fact, he's the only member of this club. 30 home runs, 40 stolen bases. He blasted his 30th career home run on Tuesday. Here he punches it. Weidman on his horse, and that's going to get down in between him and Howard. And Jay is going to motor to third. Big turn by Humphreys. They try to make that back throw to the first baseman, Hayes, and Humphreys is there. And now the Pats have got something brewing on the corners with 2 out.
You could tell just by the way that ball was hit. It wasn't hit well by Nathan Humphreys. Sounded like it was a little bit off the bat. Great read by Grant Jay to realize he could get to third. Yeah, you see him just throwing the bat at it and just got enough to get it over Howard. And you see the fake from Weidman. He faked as if he was going to go to third, then looked at first. And Nathan Humphreys realizing, uh-oh, better hustle and get back to first base. So a little uprising here with 2 away.
Yeah, big spot for Krause. Team leader in RBIs with 39. Hitting .345 on the season, a .441 hitter with runners in scoring position. This also tops on the team in 2-out RBIs with 19. See if it all adds up right here. Humphries is off with the pitch. Ross won't make a throw. Looked like he was at least thinking about it. Couldn't find the handle on it. Now DBU's got 2 in scoring position.
I don't feel like he was going to throw, but he at least bluffed like he was. Hump will take that 7th stolen base.
Chance to drive in 2. 2-0 count. Kraus was hacking. 2 balls and a strike. 6'3", 226-pound senior here, Chayton Kraus, who was born in New Zealand. Grew up for most of his life in Coppell, Texas, just up the road. Here's the 2-1, and Kraus hits it hard into right center. Weidman's on his horse, and it's off of his glove. Kraus to second with a double, 2-run score, and the Pats strike first in the bottom of the first.
Well, it was a lot of fun to see that ball trying to get down and watching the speed of Ryan Weidman in center field. He can float, and he got over there, and it looked like he was going to track this down without having to go to a dive. Great swing from Chayton Kraus. He hit it at 105 miles an hour, but keep an eye on the center fielder. May have to do it after this next pitch, but you see Weidman right there on his horse, and somehow was not able to pull it in.
There's a ground ball to the right side, a diving play by Vasquez. The throw to first is late. Here comes Kraus around third, slides, safe at home. Pats lead 3-0 on some aggressive base running by Kraus, who was being waved around by Cliff Pennington. He never broke stride.
Boy, that is straight up aggression over there at third base from Cliff Pennington. Nice play by Vasquez to keep it in the infield, but it almost looked like Hayes just assumed the runner was going to stay. Able to slide around the tag. What a rally here with 2 outs for the Patriots.
Now Underhill at first. This one's buried inside. Boy, this unraveled quickly all of a sudden. Bennett was a strike away from going 1-2-3 and possibly striking out the side. A borderline call. Grant J walked, and then it's been a single by Humphries, the double by Kraus. The infield single by Underhill. Now 3-0, and Grady chops this one to the turf. Vasquez comes on. He's got to hurry. He gets Grady to retire the side, but a great start to this one for DBU. 3 runs, 3 hits right out of the gates. Pats are on top 3-0, and this one right off of the glove of Weidman. That scored 2, and that got the Pats on the board. They lead it 3-0, headed to the second. It's been a special first half of the season for Mark Reardon's Western Kentucky squad. The Hilltoppers out to their best start in school history, winning 20 of their first 21 games, and they're looking to make a run to the postseason. They feel like they've got the team makeup to do it. One of the most prolific offenses in the game, the top pitching staffs, an emerging star in center fielder Ryan Weidman. How about this on Tuesday against Vanderbilt? That in extra innings, they would end up losing that game. But we just saw Weidman in center field, and he nearly made a sensational catch. How different that inning might look, and one that you have to put an asterisk by right now as we go to the second.
Yeah, and you could see the tremendous speed that he had out there in center, and because of that play that he made on Tuesday, in my mind, I'm thinking he was going to track that down. So a game of inches, and the Patriots take advantage.
Lazama takes a wild cut. Lazama was at the plate in the first when Ryan Weidman was picked off. So Bucknam had kind of an unconventional 1-2-3 inning. After giving out the two-out single to Weidman, he picked him off. Here's the 1-1 off the corner. A 3-man crew tonight here in Conference USA play. Connor Hoagland's the crew chief. Justin Duplessis at first. Juan Garza down the line at third. Bucknam behind at 2-1. Now he's got him to 2 strikes. 8-game hit streak coming in tonight for Lazama. He's hitting .367 over the last 8 games. Bucknam's got him at 2-2. Blew him away with high heat, 96 up and away. Second strikeout for Bucknam.
It's not the not the exact same style with Bucknam and what you're seeing from Jack Bennett. But before we talk about that, here we go again with Weidman and see how close he was to making that catch. I mean, a half step away from changing things up. But the point I was going to make, it's a little bit different in terms, Bucknam's got more velocity, but it's two pitchers that have 4 or 5 different weapons in their arsenal that they can go to at any time. It makes for really intriguing matchups.
This is Camden Ross, junior catcher. I've had 3 different guys behind home plate this year. Ross is a guy that D1 Baseball rated him the number 96 college prospect, as there's a close pitch off the corner. The number 96 college prospect in this year's MLB draft. He's playing in his 102nd career game tonight at Western Kentucky. He's up 2-0 on Bucknam. And now 3-0. That stayed high, and Bucknam walks him on 4 pitches. So a rare 4-pitch walk for Micah. A man on 1 out for Joe Ciervo.
Well, that's the second time that Bucknam had fallen behind 3-0. Was able to come back, get Carlos Vasquez with that slider to start the ball game, but first free pass, Ross over at first base, dealing with the bottom 4 in the order.
Ciervo came off the bench in the 8th inning on Tuesday against Vanderbilt, drew a pinch hit walk, but was in the starting lineup all 3 games last weekend at Sam Houston. Here he takes on the corner for a strike. Shows bunt there, something again that Western Kentucky, last year, this is what they did. Constantly put pressure on you. We're not afraid to move runners in any situation. Ciervo not showing bunt this time. It's not as commonplace now for this year's team. 78 bunts, most in the nation last year. Only 20 this year. Those numbers way down. 0-2, high and away.
And maybe a case of Mark Reardon just understanding the ball club that he had, in his second year last year. Now, that's one thing he mentioned before the series, is that he just feels like it's his guys. It's what this coaching staff wants, and you can start to see just that temperament and that identity change.
A wild one. Well, that has been the Achilles heel of this Patriot pitching staff here the last couple of weeks. It's a free base. That is only the second wild pitch, though, for Micah Bucknam. That has not been something that he has struggled with. No chance right there for Jay.
It's the 36th of the season for the Patriots, and just to give you some perspective, opposing pitchers this year have thrown 16 in games against DBU.
2-2 to Ciervo in the number 6 spot. He's gone full. First base open, Ciervo at the plate, 3-2. Bucknam's payoff pitch misses outside, back-to-back walks. So it brings the tying run to the plate. Kyle Hayes.
Pretty rare for Micah Bucknam. He's walked 3 a couple of times, but generally the back-to-back walk, losing players like that, doesn't happen very often for him. So a 2-ball would be in order. That's another something that he's been pretty good at this year.
Yeah, 6 of those that he's induced. He's been more of a ground ball pitcher on balls in play. 35 ground outs to 25 balls that have been flyouts. As this pitch high right now, it's just command that's escaped him, and Grant Jay is going to come out for a quick check.
I don't want this at any time, but after you put 3 runs on the board against a guy that's having a historic season, you don't want to come out and just give away bases. So it's funny, Grant Jay comes out there to talk, and it almost looks like Micah Bucknam is leading the charge there. Those are two of the best.
Jay in his junior year from Sims, Alabama, one of the top prospects. Got to figure in this year's draft. And Micah Bucknam, a guy that's just been transformed. The LSU transfer who came to DBU essentially with a fastball and a curveball. He's added the slider and the changeup. He's having a career year. He's gone from a reliever at LSU, where he made 16 appearances, to the Friday night ace here at DBU. Now 1-0 to Hayes. Right now, the fastball is missing up. You talked about it, the walk numbers for Western Kentucky. This is a team that is up there to swing the bat. 132 walks. It's 9th fewest in the league. There's a strike.
Yeah, it goes with the slider to be able to control it and find the strike zone. So, yeah, as you referenced, that fastball, he's not able to control that. He's missing up above the letters.
Hayes, a veteran in this lineup. Senior, he's got runners at first and second. That up the middle and past Graybeck. Boy, and Humphreys kind of slipped and fell. Here comes a run home. That ball gets by Kraus, but it's picked up by Jay. A single for Hayes. WKU is on the board. Hayes' 19th RBI of the year makes it a 3-1 ball game.
That ball smashed up the middle. I thought with the positioning of Cody Graybeck, it might end up going right to him, but hit at 107 miles an hour. The Patriots are appealing something over at third. They don't think that Camden Ross hit third base. I don't think so. And I wonder if we're going to see a step off in an appeal. But again, with only 3 umpires, it's perhaps unlikely they see it. That ball hit 107 miles an hour off the bat. And if Humphreys doesn't slip, I would have loved to see that throw to the plate.
This is Reed Howard. No indication right now that Bucknam is going to step off. Talk about this being a veteran lineup. Here is where you see some of the youth. Reed Howard is a true freshman from Ferdinand, Indiana. He broke in as a regular in the starting lineup as a true freshman at the end of February, and he has been a mainstay, starting at shortstop, putting up respectable numbers at 295 average. He's got some power as well. There's a late strike call.
I thought it was a strike, but then I thought it wasn't going to be called a strike, and it looked like at the very last second, Connor Hoagland said, yeah, I think that did hit the corner.
0-2 to the freshman with the tying run at first. Big lead at second. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss. Bucknam got him on 3 pitches. Snapped the slider that time on Howard. It's his 3rd punch out of the night.
It seemed like that at bat was over once that strike 2 call happened, because a young guy trying to figure out what Micah Bucknam's going to be throwing, and that slider just completely darts away from the right-handed hitting Howard.
Here's Henry Brown, late addition to the lineup. It was Austin Holler. About an hour before game time, we got a change. Holler was hitting 9th and playing 3rd. Rather, Holler was at second, Lizama was at 3rd, and they made that switch, putting Brown in the hot corner, moving Vasquez over to second. Got 2 out. This is the number 9 hitter in an important spot for Bucknam. He'd much rather face Vasquez to lead off the 3rd. That's punch foul. Brown's only starting his 12th game of the year. It's the highest his batting average has been at 240 since he was hitting 250 just 6 games into the season. Transfer from Indiana State. And Henry Brown at 1-1. Chopped it foul. Now Bucknam's got him at a ball and 2 strikes. It's Joe Ciervo at second base, who drew a walk. Kyle Hayes over at first, and Brown at the plate.
We've seen the fastball for a strikeout up. We've seen the slider called for a strike, and then the last one at Howard, the swing and a miss.
The 1-2 from Bucknam. Dialed up the fastball, but a little too amped up. Already 40 pitches for Bucknam, make it 41.
And only 15 in the first, so they're working him here in the second.
Two struck him out. Down and away, and Bucknam's got 4 punch-outs tonight through 2 innings. So the Hilltoppers get a run, the RBI single from Kyle Hayes, but Bucknam comes back, gets 2 huge punch-outs. As we head to the bottom of the second, Pats still lead at 3-1. 2nd. This is a key weekend series between two teams that you figured to be in the hunt for a Conference USA title this year as we enter the 3rd weekend of league play. Here's a look at the Conference USA standings. Right now, you got 4 teams tied for the top spot. Western Kentucky, DBU, you see there. FIU's had a great first half of the season. Louisiana Tech, you always figure them to be in the mix. Well, it is solid. You've got really, I think, 8, 9 solid teams there. Sam Houston has really struggled, but it is going to be a fun race, and this ought to be a great weekend.
Actually have a game that already has gone final. Louisiana Tech beating FIU in a walk-off, so they're going to be the first of 5 wins in conference. But yeah, it was those 3 teams, La Tech, Western Kentucky, DBU. Figured to have a really good chance there at the top of the standings. It's the 3 that were at the top last year. Western Kentucky looked like for a while they were going to win the regular season crown, sort of stumbled to the finish line, but they're having a great year this year, picking up where they left off.
Breaking ball stuff right there from Bennett to get ahead to Luke Hefner. Good take from Luke. He was 0 for 3 on Tuesday after a big weekend in Las Cruces. He went 5 for 12 against New Mexico State, had a home run. Senior shortstop. Big swing and a foul tip. Comes in tonight, 1 RBI shy of the century mark for his career. Making his 183rd career start. Got 3 on the right side of the infield against him. And a strike 3 call on the outside corner. Camden Ross painted that one at the knees, and Bennett gets his 3rd punch out of the night.
At 89. And looking at it live, thought it was a bit off the outside part of the plate, but I think that did catch some of the corners. So, Jack Bennett, he started out inning strong. He had back-to-back strikeouts to begin the first, able to freeze Luke Hefner there. It's just what happened after those first 2 strikeouts.
It's Cody Graybeck. Graybeck's found himself a home in the starting lineup and really is your true utility guy here. He's making his first start of the season at second base. We've seen him at short, at third base. He's been the DH. Only place he hasn't played in the infield has been at first, behind home plate. Guy that started his college career at Baylor. He was at Baylor in 2022. Played 9 games as a true freshman, transferred to Midland College. He had some opportunities coming out of Midland outside of DBU. Here he sprays it foul. Wichita State, Cal Berkeley, UC Santa Barbara were all calling for Graybeck. He elected to stay in the Lone Star State and has been at DBU the last 2 years. Oh, 2 from Bennett. Low it in. His father, Brian, a 19th round pick of the Angels out of San Diego State back in 1990. His uncle, Craig Graybeck, 12 years in the big leagues. Well, baseball family through and through. 1-2 from Bennett. That hit him. Cody Graybeck just finds a way to get on base. He's a guy that's hitting .313 this year. His numbers, he's having the best year that he's ever had. And Cody Graybeck, hit by the pitch, gets on. That's the 4th time he's been hit this season.
Yeah, he also came in today with an on-base percentage right at .500. And if you're the number 9 hitter, you're trying to set the table for the top of that order, job well done by Graybeck.
1-on-1 out for Michael DiTallo. Called strike 1. Dottie struck out on a sweeping slider from Bennett back in the 1st. 2nd time through the order for the Patriots. DiTallo, right center field. That's down. Graybeck a chance to get to 3rd. Here comes the throw from Lazama. He's got a cannon. The throw up the line. And Cody is out at 3rd. Boy, what a throw from Lazama, who has thrown out 4 this year. He has got a gun out in right field, and there's 2 down.
Yeah, looking at it in real time, I was a little surprised to see Graybeck tested out there at second base. We'll see if we should get a really good look at this throw from Lezama. I mean, by the time he gets it, Graybeck's not even at second yet. So that took a throw that wasn't even right on line. Kind of pulls him towards the third base or the home plate side of that bag. That's still a really strong throw out there and right.
So a man on, Detallo at first, 2 out. Here's Tom Poole. Bennett got him on 3 pitches in the first, and this one snagged on a rocket right there to Kyle Hayes. Right at the bag. If that gets past Hayes, it is down into the corner, and Dottie's off to the races. Instead, no runs ahead, no errors. A man left. We're through 2. Headed to the third, the Pats lead at 3-1.
Well, 2 of the best in the country. Last night, LSU and Oklahoma, 2 top 10 teams. LSU getting out to an early lead, and really all their damage was done there in that third inning. The real story was on the mound, Cade Anderson, 8 innings. It was Jared Jones who had the single early, but he goes a complete game, 14 strikeouts through 135 pitches. Electric stuff as LSU moves their record to 28-3 as they take game 1 of that series against Oklahoma.
Well, that is one of the best pitching matchups you'll see in college baseball, not only this weekend, this year, across the board. Cade Anderson, LSU, you saw that, and then Kyson Witherspoon for Oklahoma, outstanding as well, just giving up the 2 runs.
There's Micah Bucknam, who will face the top of the order. It's Carlos Vasquez. The crowd not happy with that first call as it was called a ball down and away from home plate umpire Connor Hoagland. It's Vasquez who struck out to start the ball game after going up 3-0 against Micah Bucknam. That one's called a strike. I think he got them mixed up. That one was lower, I believe, than the first one. Here's the first pitch. That's a little closer. The second one was lower, and like I said, all evens out. It's 1 ball and 1 strike here to Vasquez. Takes off the plate outside. There at 88 miles an hour from Micah Bucknam. Again, 15 pitches in the first. He needed 27 in the second. An RBI single from Kyle Hayes got the Hilltoppers on the board. Up and in, and so Vasquez has a 3-ball count for the second time today. Originally out of Sao Paulo, Brazil in his redshirt junior season. A redshirt last year with the Hilltoppers, so his second season at Western Kentucky, but his first to get in the game, and he will be on with a walk. So uncharacteristic so far for Bucknam. It's a season high that he's tied with 3 walks today. Leadoff man is on, and cannot mess around with this part of the order if you're Micah Bucknam. And Thomas Marsala will see if he can make Bucknam pay for that free pass. It's Vasquez at first, Marsala who grounded out to first base. He will step in from the left side. Hitting .365 on the season. Showing bunt, and the pitch is right down the middle for a strike at 0-1. Marsala did not fully get into that starting lineup until March the 1st. He played in just 3 of the 9 games in February, but he has been a staple ever since. Bucknam checks over on Vasquez. Bucknam already has a pickoff today. He got Ryan Weidman. It's in the first inning. But Marsala, 0 for 4 this week. He went 0 for 3, a couple of strikeouts against Vandy on Tuesday. Ball and a strike now to the number 2 hitter in the order. The team averaging just over 8.5 runs per game. Top 10 in average with the .328 batting average as a team. Getting on as a team at a .426 clip. Marsala fouls the fastball back. Ball and 2 strikes here for Micah Bucknam, who has won 3 straight starts. Went 7 innings against UTSA in Middle Tennessee. Battled through 5 innings last week against New Mexico State. In the air to left center field. Going to be a tough play for Keaton Grady, but he's got it. He'll throw to first base. Going to be a little closer than I thought. that Vasquez is safe. Nice play by Keaton. One away.
Yeah, off the bat, I think it's trouble. Grady's got to get on his horse. He's got a good read on it. Grady, another one of those utility guys that will play anywhere. He made it look routine. This ends up being a little closer. The good throw right there. Not bad. Keep Grady. Lozama had to hurry back.
He might have thought that one was going to drop, but now here's Ryan Weidman. Had an infield single, but then was picked off of first base to end the first. So there is a check of the runner. Weidman extended his hit streak out to 5 games with that infield base hit. A transfer out of Georgia Highlands College, putting up player of the year type numbers. Another throw and a great play by Chayton Krause to keep that from getting away from him. Bucknam does have 1 error on the season. And Krause ensuring, at least for now, it stays that way. As you see, Vasquez, 7 of 8 in the stolen base department. This pitch is upstairs to begin the at-bat to Weidman. Now, the overall steal numbers, 73 for Western Kentucky, but it's 25 for Weidman, and then Vasquez is the next closest to him on the team with just 7. So the majority comes from the man at the plate who takes a big league hack. Bucknam went off speed there.
This is a free swinger. Only 9 walks, but you can see he puts the ball in play, and when he hits it hard. 459. Can you find a hole in his swing? He went curveball there on that last pitch. Had a big cut at it.
He hits and can hit with some power. His OPS up over 1,200. He's got a 504 on base and a 787 slugging percentage. He's got a man at first base here. Patriots would love a double play ball. Weidman has not hit into one this year. Micah Bucknam has induced 6.
Right now, Mike is having a hard time finding the zone with the fastball. The curveball, the slider have been his pitches that he's been able to land the most. Can he come back to it here at 2-2?
He does. Swing and a miss. Pitch well out of the strike zone, but Weidman is fooled, and Micah Bucknam's got his 5th strikeout.
He takes advantage of his aggressiveness. That slider's way off the plate. 2 strikes, Weidman's got to protect. And that one almost started off the plate. Weidman not close, and a huge punch out anytime you can get him.
Well, 4 out of the 5 strikeouts have been on the breaking ball for Micah Bucknam. He's got 2 away, and he's got Ethan Lozama, who was 0 for 1. He struck out his first time up. Patriots got all 3 runs in the first inning. Did it with 2 outs. Western Kentucky got a run right back in the top of the second. First pitch now to Lozama. That's in there for strike 1 as he went with the changeup. Scoreboard said 98, but I think that was a changeup that he threw. Either way, it's a strike and it's 0-1. I would love for it to be 98.
Yeah.
This ball is smoked into right field, a base hit. Station to station for Carlos Vasquez. Oh, so first and second here with 2 away, and Camden Ross coming up.
Well, there's just so much danger in this lineup. Lozama in the cleanup spot is one of the most prolific hitters in this lineup. That one finds a barrel. You're fortunate it's just a base hit. That's nearly a great play by Graybeck. Another step to his left. He probably has it, and the Pats are back at the dugout.
That's the hardest hit ball we've seen today. That left the bat at 111 miles an hour from Lozama. Well, he's got a 9-game hit streak. He's over now at first base. At second is Vasquez, and it's Camden Ross to the plate. Trying to bring the Hilltoppers a little bit closer. He's now seen 5 pitches, and they've all been out of the zone. He walked in the second, came around to score on the RBI single from Kyle Hayes. That ball's in the air to right. Could be trouble. Landon Underhill is to the track, and he is not going to have a play as that's going to leave the yard. Camden Ross with an opposite field home run off of Micah Bucknam, and the Hilltoppers have jumped in front. It's now 4-3.
On a night where the wind is blowing in, this seemed to have some carry to it. Camden Ross, one of the veterans in this lineup, his second home run of the year. And they've got some pop in this lineup. 33rd home run of the year for Western Kentucky. All the momentum right now with the Hilltoppers after that swing. Again, you go back to the free pass of Vasquez. 2 of the 4 runs now have been guys that have walked.
Second home run of the season for Ross. RBIs 17, 18, and 19. And Western Kentucky takes their first lead of the evening, as both aces have given up a 3 spot. There's strike 2 here to Joe Ciervo. Bucknam trying to end this inning after that home run. Ciervo walked his first time up. It was the second of what has turned into 3 walks for Bucknam. And as Reagan mentioned, 2 of those 3 have scored. Fastball upstairs. It's a vocal first base dugout for Western Kentucky, but also a pretty vocal contingent of fans. Not a huge number, but the ones that are here, they are making their presence known, as Western Kentucky has that 1-run lead after the home run from Ross. Now 2 balls and 2 strikes.
They have really worked this pitch count. You know, Micah was efficient in the first 15 pitches. Second inning, 27 pitches. Only 13 of those were for strikes. So they've been able to work him, find a spot that they're hunting, and when they get it, they've been able to do some damage here this inning.
There's a swing and a miss. Strike 3 from Michael Bucknam as he gets the fastball by him at 94. But the damage done as Camden Ross, for the second time this season, gets one up and out of here. This is a 3-run shot, and it gives the Hilltoppers the lead 4-3 as we make our way to the bottom of the 3rd. Well, there is Joey Jay. That is the grandfather of the new DBU home run king, Grant Jay. And this is Joey Jay pitching in the World Series in 1961 as he helped lead the Reds to their first National League pennant since 1940. And he threw a complete game 4-hitter at Yankee Stadium. You see him striking out Roger Maris. It was the only game the Reds won in that World Series, and it was Joey Jay who went the distance, picked up the win, 6-2 there in Yankee Stadium. And boy, what a legacy to be carrying on as Grant Jay now steps to the plate. 13 years in the big leagues for his grandfather, Joey. From 1953 to 1960 with the Milwaukee Braves, with the Reds from 61 to 66. And a 1961 season that was special. And it's a relationship that Grant Jay did not take for granted. And for a little bit more on that relationship, let's send it over to Alexis De La Garza, who spoke with Grant earlier today.
Thanks, Brendan. Yeah, I mean, who else would be highlighting today other than Grant Jay? Whenever I chatted with him, the first thing I asked just how awesome Tuesday was for him, and he said he really didn't know how to describe it any other way than unbelievable. I mentioned seeing all the guys in the dugout just lining up to give him a hug, and he said that just speaks to what they have going on here, the brotherhood they have, and they are truly so much more than teammates. And when I asked him about his grandfather, Joey Jay, he told me he had a lot of impact on him, but what made him so great was the impact he made on him even outside of baseball. And the thing he remembers most about him was the role model he was, not only as a grandfather, but as a solid Christian man, always pointing him in the right direction. And Grant said the time they talked the most about baseball was just before he passed away, but hearing about all his great experiences, he said it was just really awesome and getting to hear about it all from him.
Well, thanks, Alexis. And, yeah, Grant's grandfather, Joey, passed away in September. In his first 2 years as a Patriot, we had a chance to talk to Grant, and he mentioned just, you know, whenever he's able to talk to his grandfather, a lot of times he didn't want to talk about baseball. He just wants to talk to his grandfather, and you know, what a special relationship there. And he was able to see Grant Jay hit plenty of home runs in his time at DBU. But quite a guy to follow in the footsteps of.
Oh, what a legend. Reds Hall of Famer, Joey Jay.
3-2 as Grant worked to walk his first time up. He's worked it full here against Jack Bennett.
It's a big inning right here for this Patriot lineup. After the 3 spot from Western Kentucky, it all starts here with Jay, who's back-to-back full counts against Bennett.
And he's on. So Grant Jay, his 25th walk of the season. That ties him for the team lead with Tom Poole. Patriots have the leadoff man on here in the 3rd. Well, Grant's at first base, and a little bit more about his grandfather. There you go, a 13-year big league career. A lot of 9s in those overall stats. 99 career wins, 999 career strikeouts for Joey J. Cincinnati Reds Hall of Fame member. And here is Nathan Humphreys, who was able to take for strike 1. And the thing that I thought was interesting, too, is just there was a 1 year where Joey J was a All-Star, 1961. He won 21 games. He had 14 complete games that year. There's a sky-high fly ball, shallow left field. Joe Ciervo is going to be taking charge here, and he makes the catch and left for the first out of the inning. But yeah, 14 complete games in 61, and then he came back in 1963 when he threw 16 complete games. I think the game has changed a little bit.
It's a little different, right? You weren't going situational matchups in the 5th, 6th innings. There was no such thing as a pitch count. If there was, they sure weren't thinking about it. What a storied career for Grant's grandfather.
Here's Chayton Krause, 2 RBI double his first time up. And we have hit 7 o'clock here at Horner Ballpark. We pause for the playing of taps. And it remains one of the best traditions in college baseball. 7 o'clock every night at Horner Ballpark. Playing of taps. If you hear it right, Patriots will stop. Western Kentucky steps off as well, and we honor those that have lost their lives for their country. Right over that hill, beyond the center field wall at DBU, is the DFW National Cemetery. So back to action. Chayton Krause takes down and away 1 ball and 1 strike.
Got to find a way to start working Jack Bennett. That's something that Western Kentucky's been really good in the first 3 innings against Micah Buckner. Be able to get his pitch count up. You see Bennett right now at 43.
He was efficient in that 2nd inning as Krause hits this one into left field. He's got a 2-hit day. Well, Chayton's having himself a week. He had 3 hits on Tuesday. He's got 2 hits today. And the Patriots in business here, 1st and 2nd, only 1 away.
It's just so big and strong, and the plate coverage that he has. I mean, this is a pitch that, watch where it ends up here from Bennett. Kind of out on the corner, and he pulls that ball. He hits it hard at 102, a screamer over the shortstop.
Oh, 1 away. Here's Landon Underhill, who picked up an RBI. He was able to beat out an infield single. Chayton Krause never stopped running from second base with 2 outs there in the 1st. Strike 1 to Landon Underhill, making his 9th start of the season. 280 average. This is his 26th at bat of the year. In tight against Jack Bennett. Now, you mentioned the pitch count as you're approaching 50 for Bennett, but he threw 21 in the 1st, was able to get himself back on track with just 11 in the 2nd. And his defense, a big part of that. Cody Grebeck was thrown out trying to go 1st to 3rd on a single to right. Landon hits this one in the air to right center field. Weidman is back, and he's going to stop just in front of the track to make the catch. Grant Jay will move up to 3rd base. Ball hit well by Underhill, but he just missed it. There's 2 down.
If the conditions are different here at Horner Ballpark, that ball might have a chance. Cooler temperatures in the low 60s. The wind slightly in from center tonight. Air's a little thicker. See where Weidman catches this ball. Just shy of the track.
So two down. Keaton Grady will try and even this thing up. Got Grant Jay led off the inning with a walk. He's now at third. Chayton Krause singled. He's at first. And Keaton Grady takes for strike one. This is the third straight start for Jack Bennett in the #1 role. Last 3 Fridays. Last week against Sam Houston, 5 2/3 scoreless, and then he gave up 4 total runs there against Kennesaw State as the slowest stolen base you'll ever see. Chayton Krause was trying to draw a throw, but Western Kentucky was not interested, but Krause will get to second base.
Kind of started tiptoeing about halfway to second base, just begging Ross to throw that ball. They weren't biting.
Well, now a base hit can give you the lead. And Grady hits this one off the handle of the bat over to third base. Play is made by Brown, and that'll end the inning. So the Patriots threaten. They leave a couple of runners in scoring position. We have played 3, and it's Western Kentucky with a 1-0 lead here in game 1. Well, it's a cool evening in Dallas. Temperature right around 60 degrees. Game 1 of this 3-game series, and just glad that it's dry enough for us to be playing some baseball. Western Kentucky has a 4-3 lead. The big blast, a 3-run home run from Camden Ross off of Micah Bucknam, who has given up those 4 runs. He has struck out 6. He's walked 3. That ties a season high, and he's thrown 65 pitches. As he will try to keep the Hilltoppers off the scoreboard for the first time since the first inning. It'll be the bottom 3 in the order. Due up, Kyle Hayes had the first RBI of the game for the Hilltoppers, an RBI single. And so Hayes, followed by Reed Howard and Henry Brown, scheduled to swing it against Micah Bucknam. Against a 25-4 Western Kentucky squad, having one of their best years in program history. Trying to get back to the NCAA tournament for the first time in 16 years. There's strike 1 to Kyle Hayes. What a start it was for Western Kentucky. 20-1 out of the gates. Had a 15-game win streak. I believe that was second best in program history. That went all the way up until the start of conference play. Lost in extras to Vanderbilt on Tuesday. Had a couple of tough losses this year. In fact, 3 of their 4 losses have been by just 1 run. Hayes fouls this one off at 0-2, but I think it's pretty clear from the first 4 innings, this is a good ball club. The question was, how tested were they? And well, just based on the numbers, they had only played 4 games against teams with a winning record this year. They're 2-2 against those. They're 23-2 against teams under 500. As Hayes hits this one in the air to right. It's a long run for Underhill. He is going to slide into the wall, and he hits it hard.
Well, that is a scary moment.
And everyone holding their breath here. I think I see a smile, which is a good sign, but boy, that's a scary play.
Well, he just never broke stride. Padded wall, but that is a stone brick wall on the other side of that, and he hit it going full speed. You've lost right now. Joey Narrett's out of the lineup. Landon Underhill's been banged up. He had a great start to the year, but has been out of the lineup dealing with an injury. This is a guy that's just kind of had injuries throughout his career. Take a look at Luke Horton, the team trainer out there with him right now.
Dan Hefner joins the fray as well. And the guy just going full out and wanting to make a play. Good to see him up, and hopefully he's able to stay in the ball game. I think he is.
Well, you got to love the effort from number 13.
Yeah.
I mean, he just kind of slows up just a bit right there, but that is a hard collision into that wall. You're worried that he hit his head.
Yeah.
It looked like it was more of his knee that was bothering him.
Yeah, you could see sort of the buckle as he, at the last second, tried to slow himself down. Everyone around him is smiling. He's not right now.
No, he doesn't find it funny.
Yeah. Just a long strike here from Kyle Hayes. The count will remain at no balls and 2 strikes. But again, talking about Western Kentucky and the season they've had, the 4 teams they've played with a winning record, Tennessee Tech and Southern Illinois, run ruling both of them, including a 21-2 win over the Salukis, and then losing in extra innings to Vanderbilt and Murray State, both 1-run losses. Hayes a swing and a miss. Downstairs on the soft stuff for Micah Bucknam, and he picks up his 7th strikeout.
One of his best pitches of the night. Great bite. 85, that might tell you. Right hand, maybe the curveball right there. He just buries it. Good pitch to Hayes to start the inning.
Feels like the majority of the breaking balls we've seen have been more the slider. That had almost the more 12-6 trajectory to indicate the curveball, but effective either way. 7 strikeouts. Here's Reed Howard. He struck out on 3 pitches back in the second. As Howard's average right now at 291. Freshman out of Ferdinand, Indiana. Grounds this one routinely out to short. Hefner's got it. And there's 2 down in inning number 4. It'll be Henry Brown that will come to the plate. He also struck out back in the second inning. This Western Kentucky offense, we've seen just the 1 extra base hit today. That's the home run. But as we mentioned in the open, they are number 3 in the nation in doubles this year. They've hit 77 of them this season. And this ball's hit in the air, and that's got a bid for extra bases. Humphreys is going to get there in time. Hit on the nose by Brown, but the speedy Humphreys tracks it down, and that will end a 1-2-3 frame. Going to the bottom of the 4th, Western Kentucky still holding on to a 1-run lead. Well, number 17, DBU, trailing by a score of 4-3 as we go to the bottom of the 4th. And gives us a chance to look around the rest of the top 25. Some of those scores from around the nation. Showed you the LSU-Oklahoma game from last night. LSU winning that one 2-0. They've got an early 4-0 lead on the Sooners at Eldell Mitchell. They're trying to win that series. Georgia and Texas, that's a marquee match, about as marquee as it gets. Still scoreless in the 3rd. Duke, North Carolina renewing their rivalry. And then the top of the SEC and the bottom of the SEC, which is hard to believe, between A&M and Tennessee. 4 in Nashville in the 5th inning. 8-1 in conference. The Volunteers, the Aggies are 1-8 in SEC play.
Well, hard to believe for a team that started number 1 preseason, a consensus number 1 in every poll. Texas A&M Aggie squad, and if the season ended today, they'd be on the outside looking in.
Yeah, it's going to take some really good baseball the last half to make it where they don't have to win the tournament to get in. Yeah, big shock. Of course, the change in coaches. Team that went to College World Series, nearly won it last year. An 0-2 here to Luke Hefner as Jack Bennett has settled in since giving up the 3 in the 1st. It was Kraus with a 2 RBI double in the 1st. Landon Underhill had a RBI base hit. But since then, it's been a couple of scattered hits. As Hefner grounds this one routinely out to second. Vasquez, originally the 3rd baseman. He's the 2nd baseman today. Now with the lineup change, he makes the play, and there's 1 down in the bottom of the 4th. Not only the incredible offense for Western Kentucky, their ERA trails only that Tennessee Volunteer team. Team ERA at 2.59 coming in today. That's 2nd in the country behind Tennessee at 2.48 as a team. Here's Cody Graybeck. Was hit by a pitch his first time up and then was thrown out trying to get to 3rd on a single from Michael DeTalo, as he will take strike 1. Now quickly in a hole at no balls and 2 strikes. Bennett only 57 pitches. Only struck out 3, he's walked 2. Grebeck fouls this one off and out of play. Bennett all 3 years with the Hilltoppers, mainly a reliever his freshman year. More of a dual role last year, but then turned into a steady presence in the starting rotation as there's a line drive to right, just foul by Cody Grebeck. He had his eyes on extra bases, but he's out in front of it. Another look here. Ball was hit well, but clearly foul. Well, Bennett went 22 innings to begin this season with an ERA of 0. He did not allow an earned run for the first 22 innings. This ball's hit in the air, center field. Weidman comes in, makes the catch for the second out of the inning.
Well, Weidman was playing so shallow right there with the wind blowing in with Grebeck at the plate. He can play in more. A lot of times that ball might have a chance to get down, but where Weidman was positioned was a routine play.
Well, 2 down for Michael Detallo. Patriots, all 3 of their runs came with 2 outs. They'll look to try and duplicate what they did in the first inning. As there's a slider on the outside corner for Bennett, and it's been impressive. His ability to get ahead with a multitude of pitches. He just puts himself in the driver's seat immediately because you can't sit on any one pitch. Dottie got a fastball and hits it foul. Well, he had hit number 197 his last time up in the second. 3 away from getting to 200. He's extending the on-base streak to 19 games. A little bit of a delay as waiting for that ball in foul territory to be cleared. Now we're ready to go. Dottie able to lay off a good breaking ball. Second start for Bennett in his career against the Patriots. He went 8 2/3, allowed 1 run last year. Detallo hits this one pretty sharply, but played easily by Howard. He fires, and the inning is over. So the Patriots go 1-2-3 for the first time this evening. We have played 4 at Horner Ballpark, series opener between 2 of the top teams in Conference USA. It's a 1-run lead for Western Kentucky.
Well, it's been a historic start to Patriot legend Ryan Johnson's Major League career. Last week, he became just the 2nd player in big league history to make his debut on opening day without spending a day in the minors. Then we saw him earn his first career save on Monday against St. Louis. And then the very next day, he notched his first career win as RJ just continues to write his name in the Major League Baseball record books as he begins his big league career. What a start it has been for Ryan Johnson. This time last year was pitching against this Western Kentucky squad.
Yeah, he would have been on the mound in game 1. He was out-battled by Jake Bennett.
He was.
In that game last year.
Top of the order, this is a big inning for Micah Bucknam, trying to keep pace with Bennett. Jack Bennett has gone 3 consecutive innings in which he's not allowed a run since giving up that 3 spot on the first as Vasquez hammers this one foul. Here's another look. When we talk about the history for Ryan Johnson, he's the first American League pitcher since to get a win and a save in the first 3 games. Halliday did that back in 1998. Is doing right now.
RJ.
No. Here's the 0-1 fouled away. Halliday won maybe a few Cy Young awards in his day.
There was a stretch during, I guess, the late aughts, I guess, when the Rangers were starting to get real good that every trade deadline I was praying for Roy Halladay.
Yeah. 0-2 from Bucknam. Buried. Ball and 2 strikes. Well, the Angels have got a couple of guys out of Conference USA, formerly Conference USA, at least in Florida Atlantic. Nolan Shanuel, who's having himself quite a career.
Yeah, and he had quite a trek to the big leagues himself as the same year that he was drafted, he was already hitting in the top of that Angels lineup.
He went. It was close. Justin Duplessis said that he offered at it. Vasquez retired. That's 8 strikeouts now for Vasquez. This one was close. You can see that Vasquez is in complete disagreement. He may have an argument here. See if we can be able to tell from this view here.
I don't know, that one from the, you obviously want to see it from the first base side, but that there, if I'm standing and having to make that call from where I was sitting, I think he did. That one's a little harder to tell. And there's 2 strikeouts for Vasquez today that he didn't agree on that final call.
Big swing and a miss by Marsala. Well, Bucknam got what he needed in the 4th, and that's an 8-pitch inning. And all 8 pitches were strikes. That after he started that inning with 65 pitches. He's now up to 78. Marsala shoots that the other way. Base hit, his first hit of the night. That will set the table for Ryan Weidman.
Well, he beat the shift. Patriots had 3 on the right side of the diamond, and that ball's hit almost in the normal spot where Luke Hefner would be, but Michael Detallo was the only on the left side of the infield. That's a good piece of hitting from Marsala. Yeah, it's a routine play if Luke's on that side of the field.
Well, now you have to deal with Weidman. Singled his first at bat. It was an infield single, then struck out his last time up. He starts him with a fastball. That might be the only fastball that Weidman sees. He did not see much of the express in his last at bat. It was a heavy dose of off-speed stuff.
Eventually got him to chase a slider way off the plate.
Weidman out of Marietta, Georgia, the 7th highest batting average in the country coming in tonight. That's a wild one, and Marsala to second. So Bucknam, who came in tonight with only just 1 wild pitch, has thrown 2 of those. Command has been an issue at times tonight. The 3 walks, 2 wild pitches. You look at Weidman's numbers. Boy, this guy does it all. Power, average, second in the league in RBIs. The stolen bases, 25 of 32. Maybe the closest comparison for Patriot fans would be a guy like a Devlin Granberg, although Devlin didn't have those kind of stolen base numbers at this time of the season.
He did towards the end of the year, but I think just looking at the offensive numbers, that's kind of the only comparison you can make.
That one's off the end of the bat. This is not going to be easy. Bucknam over, and a great job of covering. Pats will gladly take that. Even though the runner moves over to third base, if you can retire Ryan Weidman, that's a win. There's 2 out.
I got a little bit nervous there on the ground ball because you saw how far off the bag Kraus was, but then Micah Bucknam, he had to turn on the jets to get there. And Weidman making that a close play. Love the effort there.
Well, the question now becomes, how do you pitch Ethan Lizama? Cleanup hitter. One of the top sluggers on this team. He's got great protection behind him, and Ross, who's already hit the home run. Sky to right center. Should be routine. Humphreys camps under it, and Bucknam gets out of the inning. So the Hilltoppers strand a runner at third base. No damage done. Bucknam's through 5 tonight. We got a 1-run game here in the opener in Dallas between DBU and Western Kentucky. Point at this one in game 1. Kind of what we expected. Close game between 2 of the top teams in the league. Pat's got it going early here. This all with 2 outs. The big hits for DBU. Jaden Krause's double. Ryan Weidman just had to go.
That one mistake. But Jack Bennett, he gave up the 3 runs in the first. He has been able to settle in. He's put up 3 straight zeros. He's retired the last 5. So DBU's going to have to break that rhythm and try to get this game even.
Well, it'll be Poole, Jay, and Humphreys. Big bats coming here against Jack Bennett, the junior out of Paducah, Kentucky, who has been dialed in since giving up those 3 runs with 2 outs. It's the only inning in which he's thrown more than 20 pitches, and he's put up zeros the last 3 innings. He's given up just 2 hits, a single to Detallo and then a base hit to Krause. Here's Poole. The first pitch, the home half of the 5th, is in there for strike 1. Tom came in this weekend with the top on-base percentage in Conference USA at .525. Next pitch, inside corner. Well, Bennett has just consistently gotten ahead tonight. Here he is 0-2 to Poole.
He's thrown 6 pitches to Tom, and they've all been strikes.
Tom lined out sharply to the first baseman Hayes his last time up. And at 0-2, he fouls it off. Senior out of Calgary, Alberta, Canada, and Poole working here against the junior right-hander and Bennett. Just getting ready to throw pitch number 66 off the corner. Trying to get on for Grant Jay. The 1-2, just inside. Well, that is where they really tried to work Poole. Inner half, down and in.
Got him to 0-2 first time and this time here. Tom battling back.
2-2 pitch, just inside. Boy, Camden Ross held that one for Connor Hoagland. He'll give you that late strike call, but now it's 3-2.
Just continuing to pound inside.
Big pitch here, 3-2 to Poole. Fouled away. Bennett, 3 strikeouts on the night. And those 3 strikeouts came in the first 8 batters that he faced. Here he is at 3-2 to Poole again. That one shot right back at him. What a snag by Bennett. Oh, that was a bullet at 103, and how in the world did Jack Bennett make that play? There's one down now in the 5th.
103 up the gut, and there are 2 balls that Tom has smoked that have been grabbed just like that. What a play.
Oh, my.
Your glove just in the right place at the right time. I don't even think Jack Bennett could believe it. Oh,
just happened to be in the right
goodness.
spot. He held on to it. That's a great play. You know, one thing Mark Reardon raves about is his athleticism, and you see it there. Here's Grant Jay, and he is going deep into center field. Weidman is just short of the wall, and he's got it as Grant nearly tied the game up on one swing.
Yeah, most days this season, that ball's leaving the yard. With the more pitcher-friendly type of weather tonight, that ball hit 101 off the bat, but stays in the yard.
So 2 away. Wait, 2 loud outs here in the 5th. The rocket off the bat of Poole. This deep shot from Jay. Here's Humphreys, who's 1 for 2, and Humphreys watches low and inside for a ball. Humphreys singled and stole a bag in the 1st. That stolen base for Nate. Don't want to pass this up. He's now tied for 4th in program history in stolen bases. He ties Luke Bandy. Luke played here at DBU from 2017 to 19. 43 stolen bases for Humphreys. Well, what a career. I mean, the numbers that Hump is putting up, he'll go down as one of the all-time greats in Patriot baseball history. Here's a 2-0, up and in. He is having a career year, .358 batting average. He's got a chance to eclipse his career highs in home runs, RBIs, doubles. A 3-0, he watches for a strike. And all that said offensively, Dan Heafter calls him the best defensive center fielder he's ever coached.
We got 2 of the best defensive center fielders, definitely in the conference, maybe in the country in this series this weekend.
Sky down the left field line, back of 3rd, Brown over. Yeah, you're seeing 2 of the best this weekend, him and Ryan Weidman. Be interesting to see where Humphreys goes in the draft as a senior. Weidman's got a chance to be a very high draft pick as a junior. Mark Reardon says he's very raw. Coming out of junior college, the ceiling on Weidman is extremely high. Put 3 on the right side of the infield now. with Brown, the third baseman, to the right as second. 3-2 to Humphreys. That's low. Humps on. And Chayton Krause will come up with the tying run at first base. Third walk of the night from Bennett.
That's the second straight week that Bennett has walked 3, and that's season high for him. In fact, he had only walked 3 batters total before the 3 that he walked against Sam Houston last week.
So Chayton Krause has got 2 hits tonight off of Bennett. He's been the one that's been able to solve the mysteries. Here's a quick throw over the back. Ross has got a strong arm behind home plate. Coming in tonight, only 6 attempts against Ross. And they've used 3 different catchers behind home plate. There's another check of Humphreys. Krause against Bennett. This is a great battle here with 2 outs. Leading RBI man in the Conference USA now with 41 RBIs. As Bennett tries to pitch him away. Krause went to right center field with the double in the first. Had a line drive single to left in the third. And Dylan Napoleon, pitching coach for WKU, has come out. He's going to get a visit here with Bennett. There's no activity in that Hilltoppers bullpen. Well, I say that now, there's a right-hander. Lucas Hartman throwing.
It looks like they're going to go to Hartman.
They sure are.
Boy, that's a little surprising.
Interesting. If Hartman can get out of the gate.
Got to pull.
There we go.
Pull would be better.
There it is. All right, here goes Lucas Hartman, who will come in for Bennett. Kind of a surprising move here. Bennett, where he was pitch count-wise, but Krause has kind of had his number. Maybe Napoleon's got a hunch here with Hartman. So we'll come back to Dallas. 4-3 Western Kentucky. Got 2 outs and the tying run at first base when we return.
New pitcher on the mound catches us a little bit off guard as Jack Bennett. He gave up the 3 runs in the first. He had been outstanding since. He ends up going 4 2/3, giving up 3 runs, all earned on 5 hits. Walks 3, strikeouts 3, 78 pitches, and a 1-0 count to Chayton Krause. It's Lucas Hartman who comes out of the bullpen.
Yeah, the senior out of Bradenton, Florida. These are solid numbers. And this is really where the Hilltoppers can hurt you. They're very dangerous. The number of quality arms they have in the bullpen, Hartman's one of them. A 1.64 ERA. You see the batting average against at 130. And he's been well-traveled in his college career. Florida Gulf Coast, Florida Southwestern. The junior college ranks back in 23. He started his career at Western Carolina. He's been sharp lately. Against Sam Houston and Vanderbilt, it's been back-to-back scoreless outings, 3 1/3 inning. And against Sam Houston, I mean, he had the swing and miss stuff. He struck out 7 of the 10 batters he faced last weekend on Friday night. And he is going to see Chayton Krause. He's another one of these Hilltoppers pitchers, 5-pitch mix. I mean, that just seems to be what Dylan Napoleon develops.
Yeah, and that's basically what you just saw from Jack Bennett. So they liked whatever Hartman they thought he was going to be able to do against Chayton, who had some success, as you mentioned, against Bennett.
He inherits a 1-0 count, so this batter is Hartman's. This is another throw over to Humphreys. Really kept an eye on Humphreys, who's stolen 7 of 9 on the year. He's got an average lead away from first. The 1-0, swing and a miss. He swung at ball 2. That was way off the plate.
And Chayton had committed to the fact that he thought he was going to get a fastball, and instead he got that slider. Ended up way off the plate. They don't want Hump going anywhere, do they?
Well, it's been a number of throws over there to keep him close. Here comes the 1-1. He comes right back to that slider. Chayton wasn't biting this time. Two-hit night for Krause. 7 times this year he's had 3 hits in the game, most recently Tuesday night. Boy, again,
If you go when that slider's thrown, you got a great chance of getting there. That's all that Chayton has seen so far from Hartman.
That came in on him. He's gone 3-1.
That's a breaking ball that he was not able to control.
It's kind of a violent delivery from Hartman, 5'10", 211-pound senior. 3-1 pitch, fastball count. There it is. 87 right there from Hartman. That's not the fastball. Fastball's got some good ride to it. 90-93 from Hartman. 3-2. Humphreys off with the pitch here. There he goes. Popped up back at first, shallow right. Lizama, long run, still coming. It's going to get out. So we'll do it again at 3-2.
Well, he may be throwing the cutter. That one at 86. Just a slight variation from what his fastball is, and that seems to be the pitch that he's tried a couple of times to Chayton.
We do it again at 3-2. And Kraus hits it on the nose, deep into right center field. Weidman's giving chase. Going back after it as well, the right fielder Lizama, and he's got it. Oh, the Pats have hit 3 tonight that if the conditions weren't as they were this evening at Horner Ballpark, it might be a different ball game. Lizama makes that catch at the wall. So we're through 5. Western Kentucky still on top by a run. Back at Horner Ballpark on this chilly evening here, April 4th. Opening game of a 3-game series between DBU and Western Kentucky. Two teams came in this weekend tied for first place in the Conference USA standings. Well, Patriot fans, I want to remind you, you've got a chance to play a role in the success of one of the nation's top programs. Joining the dugout with the ever-changing landscape of college baseball, you can partner with DBU and by helping to give towards scholarships, NIL, and Patriot Baseball Project on the QR code on your screen, or you can go to patriotathleticfund.com to get today and invest in be in contention for a league crown, as there's a fastball to Camden Ross for a strike. Ross has been on twice. He's walked and he's homered. Prior to that home run, he was 0 for his last 15. His average had fallen from 395 to 304 coming in this weekend. Here he takes a big cut now at 0-2. That home run that he hit in the third was only the 5th of his career in 102 career games. And it's been the difference tonight. It was a 3-run shot in the third.
Yeah, 2-out bomb. Felt pretty good about where things were. And I think even, too, if you say that you're going to get Bennett out of the game in the 5th, you're thinking the score's a little bit different than 4-3.
Bucknam trying to retire the leadoff man here in the 6th against Ross. Here comes his 1-2. Fouled off. It's Ross, Ciervo, and Hayes, 5, 6, and 7 for the Hilltoppers. Came inside on him. He fouls it back. Off the mask of maybe home plate umpire Connor Hoagland.
Almost looked like a curveball that stayed up and in.
A ball and 2 strikes here to Ross. Out of Broomfield, Colorado. He's been at Western Kentucky all 3 years of his career. Now the 1-2. It's softly to Graybeck, and there's one down.
If that one would have gone as a base hit, I would have petitioned Mr. College Baseball, because the Patriots hit 2 balls at 101 miles an hour and another at 102, and those accounted for all 3 outs in the bottom of the 5th.
It's a funny game, and right now it's favoring Western Kentucky as we're in the 6th. It's Joe Ciervo. who's walked and struck out. Transferred from Jefferson College back in his home state of Missouri. That inside and tight. Brushed him back.
That's your worst nightmare when you turn to bunt. You get 94 up around your face.
There's just nowhere to go. It's a guy that hit 379 last year at Jefferson College in the JUCO ranks. First team all-region for Ciervo. 1-0. Check to swing. 1-1. '90th pitch of the night from Bucknam, who's battled. Only one pitch that he would love to have back. That was the 1-0 pitch to Ross in the third. Outside of that, he's been brilliant. The command at times tonight has gotten away from him, but really since the third after he walked Carlos Vasquez, he's settled in. He struck out 8 tonight. Chopped it right side. Long run for Graybeck. He's got time, though. Close play, they get him. Ciervo made it very close. 2 out.
And just because of where Cody was at second, that turned out to be a tough play. See how far he has to go. He's pinched in almost like he's in double play depth with nobody on. And he ends up deep in the hole at second, and if he doesn't make that play as quick as he does, that's an infield single for Ciervo.
I said he had time. It got close. So you see Jared Jenkins in that Patriot bullpen. Bucknam closing in on the end of his night, 92 pitches. Here's Kyle Hayes. There's a strike at 88. Bucknam's already passed his career high in pitches. Now with 93, that's up. Hayes tips the count in his favor, 2 balls and a strike. Guy that's been swinging a hot bat lately. Came in hitting .434 over his last 8 games. He singled and drove in a run in the second. Struck out in the fourth on 3 pitches. Now he's up 2-1. High bouncer to third. Dottie's got it. It's a 3-up, 3-down inning. Nice work from Micah Bucknam as he goes 6 tonight. He's given you everything you could want. And he's kept the Patriots right in this one. Down a run, headed to the bottom of the 6th. (4-3) our score. Western Kentucky leads here in Game 1 on this Friday night. It's chilly in Dallas at 62 degrees. But we've held off the rain. We expected the thunderstorms. We didn't think we were going to get this ball game in today. Thought there was a pretty good chance we're going to play a doubleheader tomorrow. We've got baseball tonight. And what more could you want? 1-run ball game. As Landon Underhill, Keaton Grady, Luke Hefner are all coming up. Well, you're glad Landon Underhill's just still in the game. He crashed into the wall in the corner down in right field. It was a scary moment. Guy that's battled injuries throughout his career. Tough kid. He stayed on. Take a look at Micah Bucknam. His night, to tell you it's done. We love what you saw from Micah tonight. He battled.
Finishing with the 8 strikeouts. Didn't allow a run since that 3-run home run. In fact, he gave up the home run and only allowed 1 base runner over his final 3 1/3.
Landon Underhill digs in. Talk about Landon and the injuries that he's had to battle as you watch him crash into the wall, as he watches strike 1. Go back to his freshman year at Mercer in 2022. He had double hip surgery. He had hand surgery his first year there in 22. Redshirted. Holds up there. Juan Garza down the line. Says he didn't go. He's been a journeyman. He was at Mercer for 2 seasons. He was the opening day starter there after his medical redshirt year there in 23, and then was at McLennan College down in Waco last year. There he can't hold. 1-2. Part of that MCC team that went to the Junior College Division I College World Series last year. Got a ball and 2 strikes. Swings and misses. Boy, Hartman got him to chase. And there's 1 out. Let's go back over to Alexis De La Garza. We talk about the start that this Western Kentucky team has gotten off to, one of the biggest reasons behind that 25-4 record has been the play of newcomer center fielder Ryan Weidman. And for more on Ryan's story, we say hello again to Alexis.
Thanks, Reagan. Yeah, he's been making a big name for himself ever since making the jump from JUCO to Division I. And right now, he's WKU's star. Before the season, he was named to D1 Baseball's top 50 impact JUCO transfers list. And currently, he's 7th in the nation when it comes to batting average and just gave WKU their first cycle in program history a few weeks back. His performance has been catching people's attention and even earned himself a spot on the Golden Spikes midseason watch list. Weidman's dad was a professional basketball player overseas, so him and his siblings were all born in Spain, and that's where he picked up the game around 3 years old. They lived there until his dad's career was over and moved back to the States when he was around 6. Weidman says he chose WKU because he saw the opportunity for him to grow as a player and believed in the great coaching staff, which they felt the same way about him. Reardon saying they could see his potential, and maybe he doesn't have the cleanest looking swing or play, but one thing is he will never get overworked, and his effort is endless.
They've got a star. I'd say in the making, they've already got one with what he's doing. Grady's up here 3-1.
Yeah, the play, if you missed it, the play that he made against Vanderbilt on Tuesday, at least extended that another inning, nearly made a great play in the first inning today. Yeah, he's been an impressive guy to watch.
3-1, high and away. Grady's on, tying run at first base. If college baseball fans, if they hadn't heard the name Ryan Weidman, they watched Tuesday night against Vandy, they found out about him. I was talking to Jack Todd, their sports information director. He's kind of been making plays like that all year for us. He's just super athletic in center field. But we get our first look at him this weekend. Well, there's some star power. Golden Spikes Award watch list. Grant Jay also named to that list earlier this week for DBU.
And him, along with Vasquez and Marsalo, those JUCO transfers, completely changing this lineup from last year to this year.
Kiefner trying to put a bunt down. This is the part of the order that you really have to lean on here. The bottom third of the order has struggled tonight. Grady with that walk. But you've got Hefner and Graybeck. Well, Graybeck was hit by a pitch, but boy, if you could find a way to move some runners here, Luke come up with a hit, flip the order over, the runner goes, and Grady picked out a great pitch to run on. He's got it stolen. And so Luke was trying to move him over with the bunt. Now Hefner's in a big spot. Chance to drive in the tying run.
Yeah, perfect pitch to go on. Either a splitter or change up down. Good jump, too, from Keaton.
The 1-1 to Luke. The tying run in scoring position. That time he offered at it. A ball and 2 strikes. Veteran senior shortstop in Luke Hefner. Could drive in his 100th career RBI right here with Grady at second. Tie this ball game. The 1-2. Chopped it foul.
That was an odd-looking swing. Almost like he kept the bat flat going all the way through the zone.
He struck out in the second, grounded out to short in the fourth. The 1-2. Rolled to third. This is not going to be easy. Brown comes in. He's got it. That had some wicked English on it. Grady goes over to third base. So they get the second out. Cody Graybeck coming up. Soft grounder, but this one just had kind of some awkward roll to it up the line at third.
Yeah, I don't know if you can do justice how difficult that play can be. Smooth play by Brown, charging in. But with the English on that almost kicking back towards the third baseline, that's not a guaranteed play.
Well, Cody Graybeck is 0 for 1. He's hit by a pitch and flied out to shallow center. Swings and misses. Cody's average has been up above 300 since a 3-hit game back on March 14th against Middle Tennessee. He's been swinging a hot bat. Can he carry it over in one of the biggest spots of his senior season right here with a tying run at third base?
That's a big play behind the plate by Ross. As you know, Keaton, he wants to be aggressive. Anything that gets away, that's not an easy play, but Ross has looked sharp back there.
He's an elite catcher. They figured him to be a fairly high draft pick or prospect this year. Check swing. Didn't go. 2-1.
He got a foul.
Did he foul it?
He did when I believe.
They've got on the board as 2-1, but if that's right, then you're looking at a 1-2 count.
Yeah, and I think he is letting Graybeck know, hey, that's wrong. It's 1-2.
It is. Ooh.
Yeah, he definitely got a piece of it. He didn't go around, but I think he fouled it off. Grady's getting antsy over there at third base.
It's a great take by Graybeck. You can see Hartman's plan is to get him to chase that ball in the dirt. Hartman is a crafty right-hander. The 2-2 pitch with 2 out hit him. Second time he's been hit tonight. It's a Cody Graybeck special with 2 strikes. Well, flip it back around. Here's Michael Detallo.
And that one looked like it hurt a little bit, too. He's holding that right arm as he goes down the first base line. Now, I would think it pretty safe bet as you see another look at the pitch inside. Now, I thought it got the hand and got the elbow, but I think we're going to see Graybeck, I would most likely think, on the run here, maybe trying to force a throw to second base, but not before a mound visit.
Dylan Napoleon, who made the change a moment ago to go get Hartman for Jack Bennett. So you never know. He's got that infield in around him. Take a look at Keaton Grady over there at third base, who's, well, if one gets away from Ross, he may be sprinting home. 1-run game. You got runners at first and third. And one of the things that DBU's so good at is that first and third action. You've got Graybeck and Grady. They've shown it tonight.
Yeah. I just don't think Western Kentucky. I just don't think they'll throw.
They're not.
So I mean, even if they don't, you'll take it. All right, well, I'll put 2 in scoring position. One of my best average guys, and Michael Detallo up. See if base hit can give you the lead.
You go back to the third inning. Chayton Krause was at first, Jay at third. That very same situation. They just let Krause have it, and then Grady grounded out to third. So, well, they push the envelope here, and Detallo climbs in. Bottom of the 6th with 2 outs.
Yeah, Ross has given up 3 stolen bases today, but hasn't really thrown. I don't think he's actually thrown on any of them.
So here's Detallo. 1 for 3. Pats had 2 out magic in the first. Scored all 3 runs with 2 outs. Runner bluffs and Graybeck, and it's outside. First time Dottie's getting a look at Lucas Hartman. The 1-0 pitch is skied foul. Hayes over. It's going to get out. Tying run right there in Grady.
And he's bouncing around. You're right. Anything that kicks away at all, you might see Grady try and force the issue.
There's Graybeck. Go ahead run. Good lead. The 1-1. There goes Graybeck, and Detallo goes in the air to right field. Lazama back on it. He's there over towards the line, and there is out number 3. And Western Kentucky gets out of it again. Pat Strand, the tying run, 90 feet away. So we're on our way to the 7th inning, into the latter part of this one. Hilltoppers still on top, 4-3.
4-3 as we make our way to the 7th inning. Series opener between 2 teams that came in at the top of the Conference USA standings at 4-2. It gives us a chance to look at the rest of the standings across the, or at least the scoreboard across the conference. Liberty getting a win. Gates against Middle Tennessee. Told you earlier about Louisiana Tech and National. See a hand underway here, getting late in a handful of ball games. Here it's 4-3. West Kentucky on top, and a new pitcher on the mound is Jared Jenkins, who will take over for Micah Bucknam, who went 6 innings, gave up 4 runs on 5 hits, 3 walks, 8 strikeouts. Through 96 pitches, and here is Jared Jenkins, who will look to keep it a one-run ball game. For Jenkins, he is appearing for the 9th time this season. 3-0, ERA inflated a bit at 6.85. Walks have been an issue this year, 17 of them in 22 1/3. Still striking out his fair share of batters at 24 of them in those 22 innings. Jenkins with the fastball, curveball, slider, and changeup. A couple of different fastballs he can throw, the four-seamer and the two-seamer. And he is on the mound, first time since Game 2 last week against New Mexico State on the road. He gave up a couple of runs in 2 2/3. It's Reed Howard, the number 8 hitter, who will lead it off. He's 0 for 2 today. And Jenkins' first pitch is in there for strike 1. And Jenkins had to battle. It was a wild game last Saturday in Las Cruces. He allowed 2 runs on 2 hits, but he walked 4 batters. Howard swing and a miss. Fastball at 90 from Jenkins. Last year, Jenkins became a starter down the stretch. He made 18 appearances overall, but was in that rotation the last month and a half or so of the season. 0-2, breaking ball towards Rob Fournier, the recruiting coordinator, third base coach for Western Kentucky. Mark Reardon loves his assistant coaches. He speaks so highly of everybody on the staff.
He brought 2 great ones with him right there. Fournier, who heads up the recruiting efforts, and then Dylan Napoleon, the pitching coach. So that was his first call. When he got the head job, of course, Napoleon was on his staff already at Iowa Western, but he said within 10 minutes he was on the phone with Napoleon and said, "Are you in?" And he feels like he's got one of the best pitching coaches in the game. I think he's got 2 of the best here this week in Kel Johnson and Dylan Napoleon.
1-2 is a ground ball to third. Natalo's got it. Throw a little bit offline, but Krause holds the bag. Reed is now 0 for 3, and there's 1 away to start things here in the 7th inning. Well, yeah, for Fournier over there in the third base coach's box, and then with Mark Reardon, 2 guys at the junior college level did a lot of winning, over 1,000 wins respectively for each of those 2 at the JUCO level. So they've got a lot of experience on this coaching staff. It's got them out to a 25-4 start as Henry Brown is at the plate.
It gives him the inside track, I think, especially in the junior college ranks. When you look at how they've constructed this roster, where they've got some JUCO star power, particularly in Ryan Weidman, who we've talked about, Thomas Marsala, Carlos Vasquez, top of the order type guys, Lazama, the cleanup hitter. I think as they become more successful and they build this under Mark Reardon, it's a team that you could start to see as teams dig into the portal that they start to get a lot of those Division I type transfers. But right now, I mean, they've struck gold in the junior college ranks.
Hard to have better results than what they've gotten from the top of their lineup. Another ground ball to third. Little different play this time for Natalo. His throw in time. And so a couple of ground balls to third base. And Jenkins has got the first 2 as the lineup card flips over. Always good to do that with nobody on base.
Well, Dottie's become just so sure-handed at third. Yeah, you're right, 2 completely different plays. The first one I thought was a little off the end of his glove. He was lucky to get it, but he did and made a good throw. This one hit sharply, but back at third. He has to make a long throw.
Well, here is one of the aforementioned transfers in Carlos Vasquez, although his transfer was a couple of years ago. He was at Western Kentucky last season. Took a medical red shirt, and he's late on a fastball. He's 0 for 2. He struck out twice. One on a call that he was caught looking in the first, didn't like the call, and then in the 5th on a check swing, he didn't think he went around. In between that, he walked in the 3rd and scored on the 3-run home run from Camden Ross. That's the difference in the game still. No scoring on the board since that 3rd inning home run from Camden Ross made it 4-3. Bucknam went 6. Now Jenkins trying to go 1-2-3 in the 7th. Bucknam cannot get the win, obviously, still on the hook for the loss unless his offense is able to tie up this ball game. 2-1 pitch. Another ground ball. This one's going to get through. as a bouncer into center field. So Vasquez, his first hit of the night. And a man on with 2 outs, and here's Thomas Marsala, who will try to get something cooking here with 2 away.
And just right back through the middle by Vasquez on the second time tonight. Now you look at the game within the game here. Vasquez on first, 1-run ball game. Marsala at the plate, who's got great protection behind him. May see Vasquez at some point on the move. 7 stolen bags on the season.
Shift is on. Luke Hefner's behind the bag at second. There's the big curveball that drops in for strike 1. When that first pitch drops in like that, it gives such an advantage to Jared Jenkins. Got the first 2 to ground out to third, gave up the bounding single to Carlos Vasquez. Fastball in the inside corner this time.
Well, there's just nothing you can do with that pitch. That's a pitcher's pitch for Jenkins. Fastball in on the corner.
Marsala singled his last time up. He's 1 for 3, trying to extend the inning and get it to Ryan Weidman in the on-deck circle. Jenkins struck him out swinging. The big breaking ball gets him, and Jenkins puts up a 0 in the top of the 7th. It is stretch time at Horner Ballpark. Patriots down a run, going to the bottom of the 7th. (4-3). Patriots trailing here, going to the bottom of the 7th inning. First of 3 games here this weekend, as we will continue our schedule tomorrow. Patriots and Hilltoppers, 3:05 first pitch. Sunday, the finale before the Patriots hit the road for a 5-game stretch next week, taking on Oklahoma. They're in Eldell Mitchell Park, but lots of business to attend to this weekend. This game's still hanging in the balance, and then 2 more coming, 3 o'clock and 1 o'clock this weekend. Well, Tom Poole will lead it off. Tom, Grant J, Nathan Humphreys against Lucas Hartman, who is the pitcher of record. He came on with 2 outs in the 5th inning for starter Jack Bennett. Jenkins has allowed just the 1 base hit, but the Patriots hit him pretty hard in the 6th inning. Tom Poole in the 5th led off, nearly had a base hit up the middle, but a play that was made by Jack Bennett. I said they hit him well in the 6th. It was really the 5th inning that DBU was hitting the baseball hard. As there is strike 1. Tom lined out at 101 miles an hour. Grant J flew out to the track at 101, and then Chayton Krause to the wall at 102. Those were the 3 outs. Bounces this one to second. Vasquez has got it on the candy hop. And 1 away to start things here in the 7th inning. So DBU had the early 3-0 lead, but they have not been able to push anything across since the first. And Grant J, who is 0 for 1, a couple of walks today, including a run scored in the first. Going back to the end of last season, he's reached in 30 consecutive games. Takes inside for ball 1. Hit 3 home runs on Tuesday to become the all-time home run leader in DBU history. He's got 54. 55 would tie the ball game. That is a good-looking breaking ball that hits the outside corner at 1-1. Grant went 4 for 5, had the 6 RBIs on Tuesday. He pops this one up, first base side and foul. Kyle Hayes won't have a play. It'll be a group of youngsters who will fight for that one. DBU 5 hits overall, but no hits since the 3rd, and only those 2 hits since the 1st inning. There's a swing and a miss for strike 3 at 85. So Lucas Hartman able to get Poole. Now he's able to get Grant J, and there's 2 down for Nathan Humphreys. Second strikeout for Hartman.
A pitch that's just got good fade action to it. He's got a splitter. It'll be about 83. Slider has more of a sweep action. That there, I'd tell you more, the split.
Here's Nathan Humphreys. There's a breaker for a strike. And all of the arsenal is working right now for Hartman. Humphreys, 1 for 2, a single, a walk, a stolen base. Tries to hold up here. They appeal. He does. That first base dugout did not agree, but the count is at 1-1. We'll get our first look at it. That's close. I think he held up. Here's the 1-1. And Hartman a strike away from an extremely efficient 7th inning. Pats threatened in the 6th, left runners on the corners. Done that a couple of times here today, the 3rd and the 6th inning. Overshift on against Humphreys. Left side wide open, and he just got a piece. Boy, Hartman's keeping him fooled.
He is. He's got him off balance. I mean, he's got such an arsenal. Comes right at hitters, attacks. The arm speed always stays the same, whether it be the fastball, that splitter, or the slider. He's just really tough to pick up.
The 1-2. Hit weakly to the right side. That's the shortstop, Reed Howard. And a 1-2-3 inning for Lucas Hartman. It is still 4-3. That's been our score since the top of the 3rd. We're going to the 8th inning. Patriots down a run. On our way to the 8th inning, Patriots down by a run. It's 4-3 Western Kentucky. And they will send up 3, 4, and 5 in the order against Jared Jenkins. And it begins with the uber-talented Ryan Weidman, who grounds one to first. Nice play by Kraus, and he will crawl to the bag to ensure out number 1. So Weidman now 1 for 4, and 1 pitch, 1 out for Jenkins.
It's been an impressive start for Jared. Facing some big bats here in Weidman. For Jaden being off the line right there with a right-hander. Just going to his left, showing his range and his hustle.
It's been a lot of long relief for Jared Jenkins. And hit around a little bit in his last 2. This pitch is low for a ball to Ethan Lizama. Told you, giving up a couple of runs did Jenkins against New Mexico State over the weekend, last weekend. As there's a fastball for a strike. And before that, he threw 3 1/3 against Middle Tennessee and gave up 6 runs. So he's allowed 8 in his last 2 appearances. Trying to keep it a 1-run game here. He's behind at 2 balls and a strike. The Conference USA preseason pitcher of the year, 6-0 last year with that 3.43 ERA. 3 on the right side of the diamond here, and that ball's hit high and deep to right center, but it looked like Lizama just got underneath it. Nathan Humphreys is there, well short of the track. And there is out number 2. Off the bat, you held your breath a little bit, but harmless fly ball. 2 down, and here's Camden Ross.
Yeah, it just gets under this. It's a breaking ball, and you can see how he got under it. Jared Jenkins has come out and filled up the strike zone. You'd love to see how he's attacking.
After the 4 walks he had last week, had to be a priority. Well, here's Camden Ross. He is the hero of the ball game right now for the Hilltoppers. His 3-run home run is the difference in the ball game. His 2nd of the year. Just the 5th of his career. He had 2 of them last year. It broke out of that 0 for 15 slide. That pitch just misses. And the count is at 2-0. That hit also was his first hit since March the 16th. There's a strike at the knees, 2-1. He walked in the 2nd, homered in the 3rd, and then grounded out in the 6th inning. The junior backstop out of Colorado. takes away. 3-1 for Jenkins. Joe Ciervo, the left fielder, is in the on-deck circle. Three-one pitch. It goes full. Jenkins trying to set up. Chayton Krause, Landon Underhill, and Keaton Grady in the bottom of the 8th. Check swing, he went. Ball is squeezed and the inning is over. So Jared Jenkins, 2 shutout innings out of the bullpen, keeping the Patriots connected. They are down a run as we go to the bottom of the 8th. 4-3 the score, and here's a look at our game summary. Started out hot for the Patriots. Chayton Krause, a 2 RBI double in that first inning. Pats had a 3-0 lead. Micah Bucknam's was good today, but gave up a 4 spot, including a 3-run home run in the 3rd to Camden Ross. Patriots saw Jack Bennett for 4 2/3, but it's been Bennett and Hartman, that duo, that has kept the Patriots pretty quiet since that first inning. They're down a run with 6 outs to play with.
Yeah, one swing of the bat tonight's the difference with Ross, and really what Hartman is doing on the mound has been pretty special. He's gone through the big bats there in the 7th. Poole, Jay, and Humphries retire all 3 in order. And, well, this is a big inning right here. Find a way to get some damage done. 5, 6, and 7, Krause, Underhill, and Grady can be dangerous.
Hartman's got a new battery mate. It's Anthony Westbrook, who is now doing the catching for Camden Ross, the redshirt senior, now behind the plate. As Chayton takes for ball 1. 5 hits already this week for Chayton, 2 of them tonight. The double in the 1st and a single in the 3rd. He is ahead at 2-0 here to lead off the 8th inning. Patriots have had some heroic moments late in ball games this year. Trying to do it here in conference play against Western Kentucky. And Krause is ahead at 3-0. Underhill behind him. Then Grady, Hefner, and Graybeck. They're at 87 for a strike. And even at 3-0, he's not going to throw a fastball to Krause just to get me over. Everything he can throw for a strike, the 3-1, he doesn't there. It's ball 4. So Chayton barks at his dugout as he tosses off that equipment. He'll jog to first, and the Patriots will see if they're going to be able to manufacture something here and get this run home and tie up the ball game.
Yeah, decision time for Dan Heath now with Landon Underhill at the plate. You try to lay one down. Krause over at first base. Landon tonight is 1 for 3. He had that RBI single that drove in a run back in the first inning. Limited time. He does not have a sac bunt this year.
First pitch is down low. Ball 1. Really, neither righties or lefties have fared very well against Hartman, so slightly an advantage, but lefty's still only hitting 136 against him this year. Underhill fouls this one back at 1-1. Krause, not a real threat to go, as here comes a quick jog from Dylan Napoleon out of the dugout. He almost surprises Hartman by the time he looks up. He's got him right in his hip.
He saw something. Very intentional message. He's talking to the infield. You see Carlos Vasquez nodding as well. I mean, a lot in play right here. We talk about the possibility of Landon trying to put one down. You got Krause over at first. I mean, not a real base-stealing threat there. Oh, Chayton stole 4 and 5. Most of his stolen base, I think, have been kind of behind somebody in a double steal type situation.
Yeah, I don't think you're going to see a straight steal in this situation. Henry Brown at third, still even with the bag. Should a bunt be laid down? It's not shown. A check swing, and it's called a strike. So now it's at 1-2. Now Brown will step back and play well off the line at third base. Not a true overshift. But Brown is well off that foul line.
Well, Hartman's just trying to get you to chase. I mean, so much of his stuff is down. The splitter, the slider, where he wants you to get you out in front. Use that aggressiveness against you. His fastball's got right, but we've not seen a lot of it.
There's a swing and a miss, strike 3. That registers at 88 miles an hour. Might have been that cut fastball, and there's one away. Third strikeout. Oh, he had some good movement. That almost did look like a slider, didn't it?
Yeah, it did. You know, the slider's about 80 to 83, at least what we're told. So I'm with you. I mean, the cutter's 85 to 87, but it has the trajectory of what you would see a slider do. Whatever you want to call it, that's a great pitch.
Third strikeout for Hartman. Now here's Keaton Grady. Boy, and a fortuitous strike 1 call on a pitch almost looked above the letters. And here's another look at it. Ooh, that's ball 1.
Boy.
Now 1 ball and 1 strike.
That's a big difference. Strike 1's so important. He's ahead in the count. You know, now he can afford to throw that pitch right there where he's going to try to get Keaton out in front and get him 0-2.
If Keaton was 6 feet tall, that might have been a strike.
Right.
He's 5'9". That one's too far upstairs.
That wasn't too much further above what we'd seen the previous pitch. Definitely a ball, though.
2-1 here to Keaton Grady, who walked his last time, stole second base, and was stranded at third, all in the 6th inning. And tight, 3-1. And Hartman is in danger of walking 2. So the bullpen is moving for Western Kentucky. Three-1 pitch. Do it again. 3-2. Now the big arms in the back of that bullpen, Cal Higgins, Evan Jones. This man's been pretty good himself today.
Yeah, there's some real weapons in that pen. This is what makes this Western Kentucky team so dangerous. As much as we talk about the offense, it's the back end of the pen where they're really good too.
Big time 3-2 pitch. Ball 4 as there went Chayton Krause, but he'll stop at second after the walk. So DBU has the go-ahead run at first base, and we are going to see a pinch hitter. It's Jake Bennett who's coming off the bench to hit for Luke Kiefner.
Jake's dealing with a hamstring injury, and he said that he would be available tonight to pinch hit. Boy, what a spot for Jake. This guy has swung a hot bat lately over the last 3 or 4 weeks. He'll get his money's worth, and he is looking for one spot. You can almost bet that Hartman's he's gonna be spinning that slider, that splitter, try to get him out in front and chase it. Here comes the bowling. He's not gonna see Hartman.
Yeah, he may end up seeing a lefty out in that bullpen, as that's the end of the line. So Jake Bennett off the bench. First time we've seen him since last Tuesday when he tweaked the hamstring. He had been blistering hot prior with a .348 average and 5 homers over the previous 8 games. He will see the lefty out of the bullpen, as it is Cal Higgins who will try to get out of this jam for Western Kentucky. Don't go anywhere. Huge spot coming up. Runners at first and second. Jake Bennett up with 1 out here in the 8th.
Jake Bennett, who is going to see Cal Higgins. Lucas Hartman exits after a solid outing, 2 2/3 innings. He does not give up a hit. Now, he does walk 3, he hits a batter, he strikes out 3, and after 56 pitches, he hands it to one of the big guns right here for the Hilltoppers. Boy, at 6'4", 245, you get a look at Cal Higgins.
10th appearance for Cal Higgins this season. He's had a spectacular year. A 1.5 ERA, 25 strikeouts in 18 innings, opposite of just the 5 walks. He's got a .203 batting average against. He's got a couple of saves, and I guess technically not the closer. That would be Evan Jones, who's got 4 saves. But make no mistake, Higgins has closer-type stuff, and you can see right there, bottom of that graphic, what he did against Vanderbilt on Tuesday. It was 2 2/3 of perfect relief, 3 strikeouts, and in a high-stress situation. He entered in the 7th, pitched all the way through the 9th inning, kept Vanderbilt off the board. As the senior out of Kearney, Nebraska, has a fastball, low to mid-90s, can throw that cutter or maybe a gyro-like slider, a curveball as well as a changeup. As his 10th appearance of the season. And he's going to go after Jake Bennett coming off the bench. Bennett on the year, hitting .271. He's got the 7 home runs and 21 RBIs. First pitch is down and in, ball 1. Now, there's certain guys who step into the batter's box and they have ill intentions, and Jake Bennett would fit that mold. He can hit a ball a mile. He's trying to get a hold of one here. Fouls it off as he got a fastball at 91 from Higgins. Higgins is only allowed a run in 2 appearances this year. Game 2 of the season against Illinois State, he gave up a run, and then against Kennesaw State, he gave up 3 runs. It's his only loss of the year. 1-1. Fastball challenged him at 93. Bennett a wild cut, and it's 1-2. Kraus started the inning with a walk. 2 batters later, Keaton Grady walked. Both those runners belong to Lucas Hartman. And Bennett stays alive. Boy, Higgins is challenging him with that fastball. That one at 94. He's got the tight slider, curveball, and changeup he can throw as well. And another foul ball for Jake Bennett. Boy, off the bench cold against an arm like this. You haven't played in over a week. He's battling.
And this is a tough delivery to pick up. Watch where Higgins, his front foot, that right foot, where he points it. His back is to the hitter. This is really tough to pick up.
Got him swinging. Went downstairs with the soft stuff, and he got the swing and a miss. So Bennett is gone. And there's 2 down for Cody Graybeck.
Well, that's a change up there. I mean, he'd gone fastball, and here just buries it. You see the fastball up, it plays about 94, and then to throw that out of that, just awkward delivery. So hard to see.
And now left on left, it's Cody Graybeck. Graybeck's been hit twice as strike 1 is called on the outside corner. Believe it or not, lefties are actually hitting better against Higgins this year. .235 as opposed to .191 for righties. You wouldn't think that with how difficult that has to be to pick up from the left side. 0-1, bunt shown by Graybeck trying to surprise the Hilltoppers. The count is at 0-2. Pats had first and second with 1 away. And Cal Higgins is trying to leave him there and guarantee at least a 1-run lead in the bottom of the 9th for the Hilltoppers. That one in the air, third base, easy play for Henry Brown, and the inning is over. So Cal Higgins does his job out of the bullpen, and the Patriots still off the scoreboard since the first inning. We're going to the 9th. Western Kentucky on top, 4-3.
To the 9th inning we go, under the lights of Horner Ballpark, and it's a 4-3 Hilltoppers lead. Western Kentucky's got Ciervo, Hayes, and Howard at 6, 7, and 8 coming up. And if Jared Jenkins can throw up a 0 here, the Pats have got life. You got the top of the order coming up. The most important thing right now is to take care of business. You see Dylan Schlegel, who's come off the bench.
A little bit of shifting too in the infield as Grady moves from left to second, and then Graybeck moves from second over to short as Hefner was pinch hit for by Jake Bennett.
So Underhill stays in right. You got Humphreys in center. Jared Jenkins on the mound with Schlegel taking over in left field off the bench. First pitch of the ninth, bounded foul. Ciervo is 0 for 2. He walked, struck out, and he's grounded out. Hilltoppers about hit DBU 6-5, and it's a razor-thin margin tonight. 4-3 lead for Western Kentucky. One swing that's the difference is a Camden Ross home run in the third. Hilltoppers trying to get to 26-4. Pat's trying to win for the 20th time this year. They're going to need some comeback magic in the ninth. The 1-2 didn't go.
And with the power bats you have coming up, you keep that a one-run game. You know that at any moment, got a chance to tie or win the ball game in the bottom of the ninth.
It's Jenkins' job to keep it at a one-run game. That ball hit well to center field. Going to hang up, though. The ball just not carrying tonight unless you're somebody by the name of Camden Ross.
Yeah.
Ross didn't miss that one.
No, he didn't. He hit it just right at 100 miles an hour. There's been some balls that have been squared up that maybe it's a little bit of different night offensively for both of these teams. If maybe we play this a week ago instead of what we're seeing today, or maybe even play yesterday.
It's Kyle Hayes. Takes low for a ball. Hayes 1 for 3. Jenkins has been effective. He came on in the 7th. 32 pitches tonight. He's given up just 1 hit. Guy that was named the Conference USA preseason pitcher of the year after going 6-0 last season. 16 1/3 innings and a 3.23 ERA. He's looked that part tonight.
I think he might have got a benefit of an expanded zone there. That's a really difficult slider to hit.
Jenkins 1-2 offering. Hangs the breaking ball, leaves it up. You know, Jared had given up 8 runs over 6 innings in his last 2 outings. But tonight he's done his job trying to get these last 2 outs, get us to the bottom of the ninth down a run.
Oh.
Boy, that's close. Jay held it 3-2.
Yeah, I think it's off, but we've seen it called a strike and a ball today, which has been the issue.
Full count to Hayes. Got him in on the hands, but he just muscles it into right field. Hayes got a 2-hit night. Just right there and on the handle. Did enough with it.
Well, unfortunately, that sometimes is what always sparks a rally. And Western Kentucky, they're not the team they were last year with the sack bunts, but at the bottom of the order coming up, I wonder if they're going to play for 1 run here just to try and extend this lead as best they can. Even though I forgot about the first fly out the center, so there is an out.
Yeah, but you never know with this squad. One thing Mark Reardon says, to your point, he says that he's always felt like the greatest philosophy is that you do to other teams what you hate having done to you. And even in this situation with 1 out, it's not out of the realm of possibilities for the Hilltoppers team to go back to what's been their identity.
Well, yeah, you saw Howard just now try to lay 1 down.
He said they've kept that element in their game. Even though the rosters, it's a different look. There's a ground ball. This might be a tailor-made twin killing. There it is. Call it 2. Jenkins gets out of it. Pats roll their 22nd double play ball of the year. DBU down a run. It's Detallo, Poole, Jade, top 3 in the order coming up when we return. Michael DiTallo to lead things off. Top of the ninth against Cal Higgins. It's Dottie, Poole, and Jay, top three of the order. This is all you could ask for. You're down a run. But Jared Jenkins has been outstanding out of the bullpen tonight. Now you got some big bats coming up right here to face Cal Higgins.
And you knew that they had a handful of arms in the back of that bullpen. And with Higgins, even though not necessarily the closer, he has got that ability. And so they're going to ask him to get a 5-out save against this offense. And he went through the bottom of the order. Now he's got to deal with the top.
Higgins pitched on Tuesday at Vanderbilt, 2 2/3 innings. Didn't give up a run through 37 pitches. He was electric. Dylan Napoleon and Mark Reardon said they weren't going to burn him with DBU coming up. Felt like he could have closed out that game, but this was the spot they had in mind. So can DBU answer the bell here against Higgins? He's making his 50th career appearance. Dottie's 1 for 4 tonight, trying to get on. The 0-1 hit it foul. DiTallo's hit tonight came back in the second. A line drive to right field. Higgins has got him 0-2. The 0-2 pitch, and Dottie fights it off.
Steady diet there. It's been 3 straight fastballs for Higgins. That one there at 93.
DiTallo doesn't give in easy. 0-2. Higgins comes inside. That went down the line, and it is fair, and it's rolling towards the corner. Dottie around first. Here comes the throw. DiTallo is in with a leadoff double. Patsa got the tying run at second, and nobody out.
Well, a Dottie at bat, right? He's able to foul off a couple, gets another fastball. This one ends up catching too much of the plate, and DiTallo goes down the right field line. He was thinking double immediately. And now here comes Tom Poole. Patriots have the winning run at the plate.
A bit surprised he got a fastball?
Yeah.
I was too.
I was thinking, he struck out Jake Bennett after a couple of fastballs on a really good breaking ball low, and he never went to it.
Left on left, Poole at the plate. He's the winning run. Well, we've seen Poole with some heroics in his career. And here he is facing a guy in Higgins who was on the National Collegiate Baseball Writers preseason Stopper of the Year watch list. So this is a big gun right here on the mound. Poole takes up and in.
You do see the other name that we were told that could potentially close, and Evan Jones. He's warming in the pen right now.
Pulling a ball and a strike. He's hit the ball hard twice tonight. Lined out to third and lined out right back to the pitcher. That one was at 102 off the bat. Here's the 1-1 off the corner, 2-1.
Yeah, not all 0 for 4s are created equal, and Tom has squared up a couple of baseballs today.
Two-one pitch. Got him on a changeup, 2-2 out in front.
Here's the one. I know it's a lefty versus a righty, but that's the type of pitch I was expecting at some point to DiTallo that we never got.
Dottie's the tying run at second. Poole's the winning run. Higgins 2-2. Stays alive.
Now you want to be the hero, obviously, but if you're Tom, that runner just needs to be at third base with less than 2 outs.
Poole is the leading hitter on this team this year, runners in scoring position at 500. Dottie stands at second. The 2-2 from Higgins. Poole continues to stay alive and fight and battle right here against Higgins.
How do you not love this?
Boy, game one of this 3-game series between two teams atop the conference standings. Poole ready, 2-2, we do it again. Here it comes from Higgins. In tight, 3-2. What an at-bat from Poole, who got down quickly 0-2. Higgins, a big lefty, 6'4", 245. Facing Poole at 3 balls, 2 strikes. 1-run game. Dottie dancing at third. Here it comes. Poole punches it foul again.
This will be the 9th pitch coming up here.
Got to get some more baseballs. Well, that dugout is always into it. Talking the game, energetic. All behind Poole here at 3-2. Here it comes. Off the end of the bat, little bouncer. Dottie has to hold. The throw is in time. Boy, Poole just out at first. You have to wonder, too, kind of dealing with that nagging hamstring, how much that played an effect getting down the line. But, again, another play. It wasn't easy. Brown makes it. There's 1 out. Dottie has to hold it second.
If that ball is hit immediately on the ground and it's trickling towards third, then DeTalo's got a chance, and he's going to be able to get to third. But you're right. That last second look over at second by Brown nearly gave Poole a chance to beat that out.
Grant Jay, all-time home run leader right here. Dylan Napoleon says we got to talk about this.
Probably a good idea.
Let's chat about this one real quick. Figure out a plan. Well, big spot, and this is what this is everything you could want right here in this situation, down a run, and you've got your biggest bat at the plate.
Yeah, and obviously you would have wished that DeTalo could have gotten over to third base. There you see once again a look at Evan Jones. But you got the righty here in Grant Jay, at the lefty and Humphreys after him. So what does Western Kentucky elect to do? They've got their guy in Higgins, who has been hot. You know, he looks so good against Vanderbilt. Looked really good in the 8th inning. They're going to leave him in to face Grant Jay. The game on the line.
So here's Grant against Cal Higgins. With 1 out, the tying run at second base. A base hit could tie the ball game. A Jay Blast would win it. He's hit 54 in his career to set the record. Higgins' first pitch to Jay is a fastball. 93 for a strike.
But that was a lot of the conversation, is what do we want to start Grant Jay with? Surprised him with a fastball.
Dottie had the leadoff double. He's at second with 1 out. Higgins' pitch. Ripped foul, 0-2. Jay's walked twice, hit one deep to center that was caught at the track, and then struck out in the 7th. He's behind 0-2 to Higgins. Struck him out on 3 pitches. Boy, what a sequence there from Higgins. I think that's the pitch you were looking for against DeTalo. That one with some sink to it. And it's going to come down to Nate Humphreys with 2 outs.
I want to see exactly what this pitch was. It almost looked like a straight change from where we were sitting. You can see how frustrated Grant is as he swings at that right there. Lets out the scream. He was fooled. It's a great pitch from Higgins.
Nate Humphreys. Now, Nate hits lefties at a 360 mark. So he's been kind of matchup proof this year. This is outside for a ball. Nate typically likes to see one get over before he's hacking. He does see that first pitch. It's 1-0. He's swinging. That's in the air to right center. Weidman is there, waiting for it to come down. He's got it, and the Pats squander a leadoff double from DeTalo here in the 9th as the Hilltoppers take game 1. As Cal Higgins closes it out in a 1-run ball game. Kind of what we might have expected in this series between 2 outstanding clubs. We thought maybe some more offense, but tonight it was pitching and defense. Hilltoppers take game 1, 4-3. Back to Dallas to close it out when we return. Game 1 in the books, 4-3 Western Kentucky defeats 17th-ranked DBU tonight in a one-run thriller that came down to the bottom of the ninth as the Pats lose it. Western Kentucky now 26-4 with the win here in Game 1. Welcome back into the booth, Reagan Ratcliffe, Brendan Smith. And Pats got out to a great start tonight. 3 runs in the first inning. He kind of got to Jack Bennett in a 2-out situation, but things started to turn. It really changed on one swing.
Yeah, it did. Camden Ross is the difference in the ballgame, at least offensively. But what this Western Kentucky pitching staff did after 3 runs in the first, Bennett only goes 4 2/3, and it was, I think, more of a matchup situation that he came out. But Hartman was great. Higgins really good there at the end of the bullpen. But even after the game, just looked, he was like, man, that was a really good baseball game against 2 good teams playing solid baseball. And I think hopefully that's what we've got in store for the rest of this series. 2 teams that are going to be right there at the top of the conference.
Yeah, kind of hit the reset button. Now you get ready for Game 2. Let's look at that tomorrow. James Ellwanger goes for DBU. Really, the story, I think, starts there. What you get from James tomorrow.
Yeah, and James didn't have the outing that he wanted last week, but you know that he has the potential to completely shut down an opposing offense. He's going to have his hands full. Really, Micah Bucknam did a solid job against this offense, and then what Jared Jenkins did as well was also impressive. But yeah, you need Ellwanger to fill up that zone, to get back to just being his confident self, and hopefully that's what we see on Saturday and have a chance to even up this series.
Now, Patriots have won 7 consecutive weekend series. Trying to win the 8th, they're going to have to do it coming back and winning tomorrow. Set up a rubber match for Sunday. Should be a great win tomorrow with James Ellwanger on the mound in the series finale. So that's going to do it for us tonight. Hilltoppers win a thriller 4-3 in a one-run ball game here in Game 1. So for Alexis De La Garza and my broadcast partner Brendan Smith, as well as our entire crew, I'm Reagan Ratcliffe saying good night and God bless from Dallas, Texas. All games airing on the ESPN networks are streaming live and archived on the ESPN app. This has been a presentation of ESPN.